What's up, everybody? It's J and J with Justin and Jordan. What we got going on today, Justin? Talk to me.
So today, we are now in the dog days of the off season right now. So today we will be doing a little something different. We're gonna be going back 44 years in the NBA Hall of Fame and seeing who's gonna stay in and who's gonna get out. And we've been hinting at this for a little bit. Going back to the old episodes, you could go back and find those. The Hall of Fame is a problem and all that. But now, Jordan and I both came up with like our own criteria, see who's gonna stay in the NBA Hall of Fame and who's gonna get kicked out. Real life Hall of Fame is the Basketball Hall of Fame, so it takes everything into account: high school, college, professional, Olympics. And it's a lot easier to get in compared to other sports like football, baseball. I don't know how hockey's is, but baseball and football are extremely hard to get in. And we're just going to cut some of the guys out and see how our list is going to look. It might be entertaining, might have some debates in here. You guys might disagree, but we're going to see. But yeah, that's what we got in store for today.
Before we even jump in, because I could kind of tell you the criteria of the other one, but explain to me how tough the Football Hall of Fame is to get into. Let's just take the path of a QB to make the Hall of Fame, right? What are some of the things that they really got to do to get in there? At least have a chance.
I mean, you're talking about multiple all-pro teams, maybe few. You probably have to have a few MVPs.
A few?
Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe, well, because I'm thinking of like the top tier guy. Well, you got to have like at least one. You got to get one.
So Eli Manning's not even a Hall of Famer, even with them 2 rings and all them 4,000 yard seasons.
He's not like a guarantee Hall of Fame.
Does he have a decent chance?
Those 2 Super Bowl rings is like, that's what's keeping him in talks, but he's not like a lock. Okay. Which is crazy to say because everybody speaks on Eli Manning like we know, like, oh, one of the best QBs. We got those 2, like, weren't Mickey Mouse chips. Those were some big time chips. And rings. He's not even like Hall of Fame lock. And if you look at the guys that are like in the Hall of Fame, like Tom Brady, motherfucker got 7 rings and he has, I think, 3 or 4 MVPs. Peyton Manning, 5 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls. Dan Marino got 1 Super Bowl. I mean, no, I'm sorry, 1 MVP, but he led his team to the Super Bowl as a sophomore in the league. Kurt Warner, 2-time MVP, won a Super Bowl after bagging groceries for a year. So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot you have to do to get in. Like, there's a lot of guys that we're like, yo, like even Terrell Owens, like it took him a minute to get in low key. Like, and he was a guy that was like, yo, this motherfucker is like one of the best receivers ever. And it took him a minute. But for QBs, it's a little bit more stricter because all the winning is on them. Yeah. Like when you take in like winning accolades and shit like that, that all falls on the quarterback. So it's a lot harder for them. And when you just think of like the best QBs in history, is like all those guys either have multiple championships or like a bunch of MVPs. Like Joe Montana, 4 Super Bowls. Steve Young, I believe, has 3 Super Bowls. Like, it's a lot. Yeah, the bar is just a lot higher in football than it is for basketball, but I kind of like the way it is.
Let me throw you some names of guys that I recognize, and I remember that they were nice when I was growing up. Let me know if they're in the Hall of Fame, number one, and if they just recently retired and they're not even like qualified yet, if they even have a chance. So a guy like Big Ben, he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't think he's in it like stamped yet because he retired 2020. Mm-hmm. So he might not be in it yet.
But he would make it.
I think he would because between him and Eli, he's had the better he's had the better stats throughout his career, and he has, I believe, 2 Super Bowls. Or I think he has 1 or 2. I forgot.
I could be wrong, but I know it's.
I think he made 2 Super Bowls. I think he won 1, but he got 1. He has the better overall stats. I think he'll probably get the nod.
Adrian Peterson.
He honestly should get in. If he don't, it's literally because like
outside shit?
No, it's just like the sample size of his career.
Okay. I thought some shit happened.
Nah. He just got hurt. But like when he like his peak was fucking crazy though.
Antonio Gates?
I don't know if he's in, to be honest.
I know Ocho Cinco's not in.
Yeah, he's not.
That's crazy because that was my favorite wide receiver growing up.
Yeah,
out of all of them, out of like Randy Moss, out of Megatron, I don't know what it was about him. Out of T.O., like he was my guy. I fucked with Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco, yeah, he was even saying it on Shannon Sharp's pod. He was like, "Man, I should be in the Hall." And Shannon Sharp was like, "We know damn well why you not."
I've seen that.
Yeah, Antonio Gates isn't in it.
He's not in it. Is he? Nah. Did he retire too recently, or
he retired in 2018?
How long do you have to wait to get voted in?
I think it's like basketball. I think it's 5 years.
5 years? Okay. So maybe he's just not eligible yet. But you think he will qualify?
He has a good case. 8 Pro Bowls, 3 All Pros. He made the Hall of Fame All 2000 team. He has a good case, but I don't know.
I guess the last thing I'm gonna throw at you, because I don't want to stay too long throwing mad football names at you. Like Richard Sherman, he getting in?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I just think the peak was probably too short.
Short ass peak.
Yeah, because his peak was really like 2013 to like 16, 17ish.
3-4 years is not enough.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. No. And what I
was... But he was really fucking good in those years.
Nah, he was a dog. Even I knew that he was a dog.
Yeah.
And as you know, like baseball is tough as hell again. So I don't know which one's harder, to be honest with you. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I didn't know the football one was that strict as well. Like couple MVPs, couple of Super Bowls even. We all know that the Baseball Hall of Fame, it is hard as hell to get into. Hard as hell. I don't know if the case with football, there's only been one guy to get in there unanimously. We're talking Babe Ruth ain't getting unanimously. Ted Williams, who batted 400, didn't get in unanimously. Barry Bonds not even in it because of steroids, unfortunately. Willie Mays, not unanimous. All these guys were not unanimous, you feel me? Only one guy to get in there like that was Mariano Rivera. Griffey was not. Randy Johnson, all these guys who did everything basically. That's how tough it is. I feel like mad heads in basketball is just getting in ASAP. ASAP. And it's just like, some of these guys got to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You had this dude, Todd Helton. I think he waited either 8 years. He waited many, many years, right? He was like a top 3 batter the whole of Barry Bonds' peak, bro, in the early 2000s, right? Never won an MVP because Barry Bonds was Barry Bonds. Feel me? He was like the second best hitter most of those years. He ain't make it to like 8 years. Like 7, 8 years of voting, bro. 7, 8 years of voting.
Damn.
It is hard as hell because for baseball, you have to be elite for a minimum of like 8, 9 years. And after them 8, 9 years, you still got to at least be all-star caliber for 2 or 3 years. So we're talking about like 12 years of sustainable greatness. Obviously, MVPs could help, but there's guys who've won 2, 3 MVPs that don't even have a chance because the rest of their career was trash. You could have an amazing 20s, but really what some people even say is that it's your 30s that defines if you get in or not. Because if anyone could be great in their fucking 20s from 23 to like 29, how good are you in your fucking 30s? That's usually some of the criteria as well. And we know how tough it is to get in. Even if you take out like the steroids and shit, like I said, you got guys like Juan Gonzalez, 2 MVPs. You got a guy like Roger Maris, 2 MVPs, hit 61 home runs for the Yankees, broke that record that Babe Ruth had. He was off the ballot after the first fucking round because he didn't even get 5% of the votes.
Damn.
That's how fucking tough it is. We talking, you got to be MVP or MVP caliber for like 8, 9 years, all-star 3 more years, and just a dog for the rest of your career. At least fucking good. At least good enough that you on the roster, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's really fucking hard. It is really fucking hard. And that's why it kind of bothers me in the NBA, even looking through these names where it's like, you look at them and it just says 3-time All-Star, like 1-time All-NBA, you a Hall of Famer. Why? And you don't even have a championship. Why? What are we doing? And that's why, like, it gets me tight when I see the Hall of Fame probability and I see Kyle Lowry has a chance to get in. Again, there's no disrespect to these guys. It's just like, this just shows how easy it is to get in. Kyle Lowry has a chance to get in. DeRozan has a chance to get in. You feel me? Like
Kyle Lowry has a high-ass chance to get in, too.
Kevin Love has a chance to get in. Klay Thompson has a chance to get in. A lot of these guys can get in. It's just that fucking easy to get in. And it just seems to me like if you put the baseball criticism For basketball, you're phasing out a lot of guys. And I know we have different qualifications. Mine, which I'm not too strict on, me and Justin was just talking about our qualifications and how we could get into the actual Hall of Fame. My kind of criteria was more so like, you got to be pretty damn good for like an 8 to 10 year stretch, and kind of like the baseball one, and still be fucking decent for the rest of your career. You can't just fall off a cliff completely. That is absolutely unnecessary. And you gotta have been like pretty damn elite in like, let's say 5 of those 9 years that I'm giving you. 5 out of those 9, you gotta be in MVP voting and shit like that. Winning obviously is gonna help you out. I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys though. There's small select cases where I'm gonna say like, this guy's kind of teetering. It's kind of close. I don't know. Maybe in a couple of voting rounds he'll get in, but like, I'm just being completely honest. There's some of these where it's true. The case is hard, even with my criticism of who should get in. Yeah. There's still gonna be some cases where I'm like, damn, I know you don't have the 8 All-Stars, like you have 7, and you got like 3 All-NBAs instead of like 5. But damn, them All-NBAs that you missed, like you were still really fucking elite. It's just that the competition was really fucking packed in. So there's gonna be some select cases, not many, but some, where I'm a little bit more lenient on my own rules and say you should low-key get in. What was your kind of like criticism if you have something set, or numbers-wise you need a certain amount of accolades, points?
Nah, yeah, I thought about the 8 All-Stars. I'm like, damn, that's a little steep. Yeah. And I was like, I'm thinking right now, I think I'm gonna drop my All-Star requirement to 6. Because I mean, you could tell when there's a lot of motherfuckers you'll see that are like 2-time, 3-time. It's hard to get to, like, you might see a couple 5 times. It gets a little bit harder once you get to 6. 8-time is like, yeah, you wanted them once. Yeah, but I feel like we will see, because I feel like with 8 is like, there's gonna be a few guys where it's like they're not even close to 8, but they might have a conversation like you said to get in just because of like other shit, like all defensive teams use one of the top MVP finishers in multiple seasons. You were a playoff riser, shit like that. Like all that shit goes into account. So it'll probably be the same thing with me. There'll probably be guys that are like, oh, he doesn't really fit into your criteria, but just based on some of the things they've done in their career on the court, they might get a slight nod. And for this list, I'm not really taking into account college, because college should be its own thing. Yeah. Because we have motherfuckers that are like legends in college. Yeah. And they might not get that same love, because they try to jam pack everything into one thing.
Which they shouldn't, to be honest with you, because it just makes things. Because like, why isn't a guy as good as like, let's say Christian Laettner? So we get like his pro career wasn't too good, but it's like, why does that college boost some guys, but it doesn't boost others? You feel me? Yeah. I always think that's kind of fucking weird to me. Yeah. And I don't know if you because there's some in here that's like some foreign guys. I'm curious to see how you evaluated international shit, because I don't care if you won Euro League and shit like that. Respectfully, because again, since I'm going for more so that baseball kind of perspective, I think Ichiro is going to be like that first one where dudes are going to look at him and say, damn, do we count his Japan career or not? You feel me? And that's going to kind of maybe even break down the barriers and see how it goes. But kind of going with that, I want to do that with basketball and say, look, like, Arvydas Sabonis, I get it. You was a dog in Europe. I can't put you in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, you were stuck over there and you couldn't come over here. Rightfully so. You should have been here balling like you should have been. They want to say that you was like Jokic before Jokic, that you was a bigger Larry Bird. You're not making my Hall of Fame because I'm not going to acknowledge the Euros, unfortunately. So I know you didn't really write down a list. I kind of did write down a list of people I was removing. So I guess we could go class by class and we just discuss who we will keep in, who we kick out. So let's actually start from the top, just the most recent one.
Oh, so we're going recent to...
Yeah, okay. We'll go down. We'll go down like that.
Okay.
So let's start from the top. Dick Barnett, you're automatically out. I don't think I have to comment on this, to be honest with you. Unless you have anything to say about that. I'm kicking him out.
See, I'm literally going as we go. So I'm looking at, yeah, bro. How the fuck?
He won 2 rings with the Knicks. That's what it is.
Yeah, respect. Shout out to former Knicks.
Shout out to you.
His jump shot is crazy in 2K.
Yeah, his jump shot's stupid.
But Yeah, I'm just looking now. One-time All-Star, 1 year averaging 20. He finished. I mean, I don't know if according to this, the awards he finished nowhere. Like
No, he's not no MVP
no
candidate.
MVP candidate, no deep. I mean,
There's no DPOY
there was
yet.
no DPOY back then.
No 6-man back then.
Yeah.
It's really just MVP. Damn. No, most improved is new. It's either MVP or Rookie of the Year. That's it. And All NBA.
And he was a
One-time All-Star.
Yeah, one-time All-Star, career 16-point per game guy.
I don't even want to stay too much on it.
I don't.
There's no discussion. You're out.
It's not enough. I'm making a list of just out.
Yeah.
And I'm writing all the names.
You're just strictly out of this fucking shit. Yeah. I didn't even want to. I didn't even put him like too much stuff in those. Like there's some of these where I just say, I don't even have to explain myself.
Yeah.
Next one. So we're already getting kind of tough into this. Chauncey Billups, 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA. One of them was a second team. The other two were third teams. 1 ring, 1 Finals MVP. That Finals MVP is one of the highest weighted ones of all time. You took down Kobe and Shaq and ended their dynasty. Tough decision, especially after listening to what he said on the Mellow podcast.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, he said, like, look, people could look at my stats and shit. I wasn't about stats. I was about winning. I could respect that. But unfortunately, like, Hall of Fame is not, I don't want to say it's not about winning, but it's about how great you were yourself as an individual. For that, I got to take out Chauncey Billups, unfortunately.
Nah, yeah. It's, I love Chauncey Billups.
Me
but
too.
I don't, for Hall of Fame, I don't think he just has the case for it. Especially, like, because, like, the biggest part of his career was that Pistons tenure. Mm-hmm. That really is what carries, like, a bulk of the argument from. But like a lot of his career was just like, he even said it on the podcast, like, yo, I was a bust for like the first like 3-4 years of my career.
5 teams, I think he said.
Yeah, I remember he got drafted to the Celtics and fucking Rick Pitino traded him 50 games into his rookie year. And then he was just bouncing around team to team. And it looked like it might have been over for him, but he got to rejuvenate his career with the Pistons and they took down that 04 Lakers team. He's always going to be remembered in history for that. But I just don't think the longevity of his peak or the accolades as well is enough to keep him in this Hall of Fame.
No, unfortunately, no. Yeah, Chauncey has to go out. Look, you went to 2 finals. You got a Finals MVP. You got a ring. Excuse me. Many conference finals. Like for a certain amount of time in the 2000s, like you were kind of like that key holder of, all right, you either got to beat us to go to the finals or we're going to the finals. Because what was that stretch like of constant conference finals appearances? It was probably what? From the 02-03 season all the way to like 08?
08, I think.
Because I think they held the keys for the Celtics to get to the finals, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, it was over. So that's like 6 seasons of you guys being like the team to beat. And, you know, that's nothing to scoff at. But as an individual, gotta take you out, bro. I'm so sorry. This one should be even more controversial, Justin. Vince Carter. I'm gonna let you go first.
Vince Carter, one of the best highlight reels of all time, NBA history. I'm not gonna lie, yo. His career, low key, like depending on who you ask, his career is kind of underwhelming.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Like he was an 8-time All-Star. His first 8 years in the league. Obviously, his rookie year was the lockout, so there was no All-Star that year. But the counting stats were really good. It's an 8-time All-Star in that time. All NBA. He was never all NBA first team guy. He was, I believe, he was All NBA third team in 2000, All NBA second team in 01, and that was pretty much it. And then after 2007, actually no, I'll give it to 2009. After 2009, it kind of just like falls down. And this is a guy who got drafted with Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Pierce. 2 guys that are Hall of Famers in their own right. But these were guys that were still like at the top of their game even well after, to at a point where Vince Carter just fell down. And I think it's crazy to say, but I'm gonna say no.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take him out. It's just there wasn't really enough because we're really just enamored with the highlights and all that. He really did have a great like first like 7-8 years to his career. Especially that, what was it, 2001
That's his best year.
when he averaged what, like 27 or something.
Just about.
And going toe to toe with Iverson in the playoffs. But it's not really enough, bro. There's not really that much. I don't even want to say playoff success. Like I wasn't expecting them to win no chip, but like consistently, like deep, like how we talked about with Chauncey, there was not like consistent, like deep playoff runs, even in the weak East. People like to say, and then quitting on Toronto. I know he hates when people bring that shit up, but that shit was disgusting. Like he didn't even try. That motherfucker's like, why would I dunk when I could
15 points, bro.
Yeah, he literally did that shit on purpose, and then went to the Nets. But then after, even with the Nets, they got worse with him.
Yeah, I was about to say it's that when you talk about playoffs, because I have it written down, you have one conference finals appearance, and that's when you got some Magic as a third option.
Yeah,
like, and what you're saying about the Nets, they got worse.
They got worse when he
got there. I was hype as a kid because I was like, damn, like, because I like the Knicks and the Nets because the Nets were in Jersey, but obviously I like the Knicks more because it's the New York fucking Knicks. But I was hyped because I was like, damn, like they're gonna go win a fucking championship. Mind you, I'm a little ass kid. I don't really know shit. And it's like, you didn't even get to a conference finals. You was losing to like a young LeBron. You was losing to the Pistons. You was losing to everybody. Really. To a point where there's kind of like there's no real excuse for you guys to have not made it to the conference finals one time. You, Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson was still there. What was the cause of the failure? That's the thing. He just didn't rise enough when it came to the playoffs. Like you said, 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. But he was never a top player in the league, to be honest with you. Except for 01. But besides that, there was always at least 10 guys better than you. At least. There was at least 10 guys better than you. Yeah, he had the highlights. Yeah, maybe people were too quick to stamp him as, yo, this is the next Michael Jordan shit, and that was a lot of pressure.
That's probably what it was.
But
post MJ, you got this motherfucker coming out of UNC,
Duncan.
jumping out the gym.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's easy to get those rose-tinted glasses for those first 8 years of his career.
Yeah, but even then, it's still like, if you take out being called the next Jordan, right? You take that shit out. You still had a somewhat underwhelming career.
Yeah.
Because you had all these All-Star games, but where's the All-NBAs at? You have the totals, honestly. He has 25,000 points. But let's be real. That was from you sticking around. No disrespect. It's not like he wasn't a contributor and shit like that.
He sticked around way longer than he should have.
But it was like you were sticking around for the sole fact of, you know, yeah, it is. And I don't blame him because it's like, it is a cool thing that, all right, you played in 4 different decades of basketball, technically speaking. You played in 4 different decades. Like, that's cool and shit like that. But you stuck around maybe 3 years more than you should have. Really, you stuck around for 3 more years. You accumulated more points. I'm not saying like he was stat padding his total points, but it's like that's the reason why you got to 25K, not because you were elite for 10 fucking straight years. You fell off, bro, at the age of 32.
I mean,
your early 30s.
You could really look at his totals and try to find out where he would have finished if he retired. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Cause
probably like 20K.
Because 2013, 14 was like his last like solid role player year.
That is Mavs?
Yeah, he averaged 12 points a game. Mm-hmm. And then from 2015 on, he was like a 6-point per game guy. And then 2017, he averaged 8.
Yeah. It's just, you stuck around long enough that you're just accumulating some points. That's all it is to it. You feel me? I wouldn't have him in the Hall of Fame because, like I said, you fell off at the age of 32. That's your early 30s. You really should have had another good 2 years and 2 more All-Star production seasons, but you didn't. Unfortunately, you didn't. And in terms of like a stricter Hall of Fame, like a Cooperstown, like a football Hall of Fame, you would be off the ballot. You would stay for a couple of years, but you wouldn't make it in, to be completely honest with you. It just was not enough. It was underwhelming, like Justin said.
Yeah.
You didn't have a single top 5 MVP finish. You didn't have a single top 10 MVP finish. And the way that we looked at you, the way a lot of people look at you is like, oh, he was a dog, 20 whatever points per game, one of the best in the league. But you look at it and say, Paul Pierce was better than you all those years. Tracy McGrady was better than you. AI was better than you. Kobe was better than you. Shaq, KG, Tim Duncan. We could keep fucking going and go through each year and nitpick and find guys who's better than you. Ray Allen was better than you. Steve Nash, Jay Kidd. A lot of fucking heads were better than you, bro. Consistently. Not just one-off years, consistently. Dirk was ascending. Chris Webber. Fuck, you could give Peja some years over you. It just looks nasty when you really look into it.
Nah, yeah, I was being generous. Like, if you go from his rookie year all the way to 2013-14, which was when he averaged 11, that was like his last double-digit year. Yeah. His career totals, he finishes with 23K. And if you go from his rookie year to his last, like, good year with the Nets, his last good year with the Nets which was 08-09, where he averaged 20.8. Mm-hmm. I think he finishes with 18K.
And the thing is, like, 20K to me in the NBA, like, that's good, but I feel like 25 is when I really start getting impressed with how good you are for how long. But for him, like you said, like, it was because he was dragging. He was dragging for a good 4 or 5, 6 years. You feel me? And you was just getting in more points, but little by little by little. It's not like you had these seasons that you're putting up 15 towards the end of your career. Justin just said it was 6 for like 5 years straight. I can't really look at that as the same as like 25 because you was that guy. AI
finished with like 23K and he played only 14 seasons.
Yeah, I respect that more than his 25.
Because Vince Carter played what, 20 seasons?
20. Yeah. 20 or 21.
I think 20.
Yeah, I can't have him on the ballot. I feel like that might be one of the
22.
That might be one of the most controversial, bro.
22 seasons.
That means you're averaging like a little bit over 1K a year. Mind you, 2K is when you look at a guy as having an elite season. You're averaging about a little over 1.
Yeah.
A little, too. Not even closer to a little over 1. I'm kicking him out.
Yeah.
Michael Cooper. Justin, 1 DPOY, 5 rings, 8 all defensive.
Shit, we skipped Doug Collins.
Yeah, but his was for contributor.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't for player.
Oh, that's for this season. Yeah, because Basketball Reference says player, coach, executive, international.
Yeah, it's super category. So like I'm sure.
Oh yeah, contribute. Okay,
I'm sure we'll run into Pat Riley, but he's not getting in for player.
Okay, Michael Cooper.
I'm kicking him out. All-time great defender, but it's like didn't even have an All-Star game to show for it. At least one. There's another guy who's an all-time defender later on that I let in, which you might say I'm being hypocritical, Justin. Either you or the fans, but I got to kick out Michael Cooper. Yes, you were a key contributor to a dynasty, an iconic era of a team. Yes, you were a phenomenal defender, an all-time great defender. You weren't an all-star, though. For reference, Justin, bringing it back to Cooperstown, there's a guy who has like 2 all-star games, I think, and 10 gold gloves. He was the best defensive shortstop for a decade straight.
Yeah.
That nigga's not even close to the Hall of Fame. 10 straight. 10 fucking gold gloves.
Damn.
At the most important defense position, he not even getting in. And I understand why, bro. You wasn't really an all-star like that. You weren't a top player like that. Individually, Michael Cooper, you out of the Hall of Fame. That's already 3 or 4 people I've kicked out.
Yeah,
4.
I don't think we've kept anybody.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten out of 2024.
Yeah, shit's crazy. Yeah, Michael Cooper, unfortunately, this motherfucker's a demon in 2K. But yeah, he just don't have the counting stats to really do it for you. And he was never an all-star. And at that time, I don't even remember the West guards. You had like Magic, Clyde Drexler,
Dennis Johnson.
He
left.
Yeah, he left.
All of that.
Yeah, I guess
Norm Nixon, Clippers.
Norm Nixon, Chris Mullin too, I think. Chris Mullin was a forward, right?
And he was also later. Yeah, Mitch Richmond was at the end of your career.
Yeah, at the end.
So it's like, who the fuck was making it over him in the mid-'80s?
Yeah.
Adrian Dantley's a small forward. I'm pretty sure they count him as. Alex English, I'm pretty sure they count as a small forward. George Gervin, I'm pretty sure was counted as a small forward. So it's like, how are you not making it? And he's like a defender type of guy.
He was probably one of the best, like, high-end role players. Yo, 100%. Coop, your role is to lock the fuck down these top guys right here. That's your role. Just lock these motherfuckers down and hit some threes or run on the fast break. That was his role, and he maximized that. Do I think he should get a Hall of Fame spot for that?
No. Absolutely not. All due respect, absolutely not. One thing I definitely do want to look at though, even before we move on from Michael Cooper, I kind of want to look at all the star guards from like his career, like look up like Michael Jordan versus.
Damn, that's crazy. He's making it this year.
Yeah, this is we're still stuck in 2024.
So that tells you by
how long it took. Yeah.
He's been retired since 1990.
Yeah, I would love to see Michael Jordan stats versus Lakers until 1990, and like also other guys, you know, Larry Bird, because he would probably have that assignment too, him or James Worthy, and just see how much these guys struggled against a Michael Cooper.
Yeah.
Walter Davis, I really don't want to go too far into this. Rookie of the Year, 6-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA second team. He was a consistent 20-point per game guy. Didn't win anything. For me, he didn't peak high enough, and he didn't peak long enough. I don't even want to stick too much on him, but that's just the criteria. Even this guy was a 6-time All-Star. I don't even want to delve too deep into him. Like, he's cool, but Hall of Fame, I'm not giving it to you.
Yeah, the stats look really good. 5th in MVP as a rookie, 1 Rookie of the Year, All-Star his first 4 years. But yeah, it's not really enough to really say like, yeah, this guy deserves to be in the Hall. And then he has really like 2 playoff runs under his belt for his career, 1979 and then 1984. It's not really enough. The stats do look good though. I'm not gonna lie. You did prop up your resume. It's like you went on LinkedIn and just added a bunch of shit.
Hey,
but now it's like
respect.
Yeah,
I do the same shit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not enough for me.
It's just not enough. It wasn't impressive enough for long enough, and it wasn't. It's like you need to pick one of the two. Either you were great for like 5 years and fall off, or you were pretty damn good for 10 or 11, and you were neither.
Yeah, he was really good for like 3 years. Then he was cool. He was cool, and then he was back to being nice for like another 2, and then he went back to being cool.
Yeah, like you were just like a cool scorer, shit like that. You had your low 20s, but we don't see no 27 points per game nowhere for a couple of years. I'm not respecting that. So we finally out of the 24 class, Justin. Let's go into 2023. Everybody here stays. For me. I don't know about you, but everybody here stays. This is one of the best Hall of Fame classes of all time for me.
Pau Gasol.
He's staying for me.
Dirk.
Staying, obviously.
Tony Parker.
Staying.
D Wade. Yeah, this is a fucking great class.
And Pop even as the coach.
Yeah, Pop as a coach. Yeah, this is a really good class. See, and Pau Gasol fits my criteria. 6-time All-Star, 2-time champion.
4 All-NBA.
4 All-NBA.
Really fucking good. He wasn't crazy, but he had a good stretch from rookie year all the way until 14-15. That's what I would say. Because 14-15, I think, was his last All-Star, and he was a Bull at that point. Unless he made it 15-16. No, I think let me check. I think he did.
He did make it as a Bull.
I'm checking.
15-16.
He made it both years. Yeah, because he was in Kobe's last All-Star game, too.
Yeah. Damn, 17 and 11, basically, his last.
And he had, he had a good 14, 15 years straight, too.
Yeah.
And I get that he wasn't making All-Stars in all of them, but you're competing against Tim Duncan, Dirk, and KG. The fact that he even made it some of those years, to me, is impressive.
Yeah. And people forget that, like, once he got to the Lakers, bro, he, like, I mean, obviously, Kobe Bryant was the head of the snake, no pun intended, but he really propelled that team to, like, a different level, and he made them, like, championship contenders. I mean, obviously, Kobe has a lot of respect for him. Pau Gasol had a lot of big moments in the playoffs.
Underrated.
Especially for the Lakers. There were times in the finals where it was like, yo, Pau is fucking them up. And that's not a knock on Kobe, but it's like, yo, it's like nights when Kobe didn't really have it like that, Pau was there to like step up and pick it up. And then, you know, Kobe was going to be there down the stretch to close it out. But he doesn't really get talked about enough when it comes to like, yo, showing up in the playoffs and getting shit done. He was a big part of that Lakers team that went to 3 straight finals in the post Shaq era. And I think that really boosted it up for him.
Yeah, and then even then the other guy that'll be like some people, even by our criteria, would be close into getting in, would be Tony Parker. But it's 6-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, Finals MVP, 4 rings. He was just a dog, you feel me? And he had many of these years where he was elite.
Yeah.
He was a top 5 MVP candidate.
And in the playoffs,
He elevated.
When TD was starting to get older, Tony Parker was really looking like that guy. Like 2013, for like the first like couple games of that finals, Tony Parker was looking like, like he was that guy. Especially in that first game when he hit that shot on Bron.
Oh, when he was about to fall.
Yeah, he was about to fall and he hit that. Like I just remember like early like watching basketball days, like I really thought Tony Parker was like some like monster type shit. Like cause he would really in big games that motherfucker would show up. And he would be hooping in these games, especially in playoffs. He was a motherfucker that was not scared, taking big shots, always having the big play. And you don't really see that until you watch Spurs basketball. And he's a real big part of that.
Bro, he was a consistent like 19-6 guy.
Yeah.
And then his best season, it was 22-7.
Yeah.
And it's not like he just had a couple good seasons and the rest was fall offs. Like Tony Parker, like we said. Numerous times top 10 MVP candidate, peaked as high as top 5. This guy was consistently one of the best point guards in the league, only behind who, like a CP3, sometimes D Will, but it's a conversation. And then obviously then Nash. The D Roses came in. Oh yeah, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd. Then the D Roses came in. You were still consistently up with a guy like that. Westbrook came in. You were so good in your older days. You were still up with guys like that. Rondo, you're still up with guys like that. That just proves a case. It proves a case to me that you was up there when Steve Nash was winning MVPs and shit like that, and he was peaking, and then you was up there once a guy like D Rose came into the league. That shows a lot to me. You were consistently that fucking good and consistently one of the best in your position.
Yeah, he wasn't getting propped up like a lot of those guys, but when it came down to playoff time,
he should have. To be honest with you, he should have. The next one is gonna be really fucking hard, Justin. Getting into the 22 class.
22.
Ginobili is the first guy. 4 rings, 2 All-Stars, 2 All-NBAs, 6th man of the year.
Man, it's tough, man. I mean, he was such a big part for this Spurs dynasty. One of the best 6 men ever, one of the best international players ever.
To me, the best 6 man.
The 2 years that motherfucker was an All-Star was the years he was a starter. Did so much for this team. Damn, man, it's tough. I'm gonna say no though. It's really tough. It's tough. I'm gonna say no. It's just because it's really now we're talking about. Because I feel like I'll be contradicting if I keep him in. Because it's like the Michael Cooper shit. Yeah, it was an extreme. You are an elite level role player. Manu was tasked with more to do. With his role being coming off the bench and creating and still running this offense for the Spurs, which he excelled at a lot. I just think for me, for this NBA shit, he does have a lot of moments, which is crazy to say. I just don't think it's like, it's tough, bro. It's really tough. I hate even saying it, but and he did have a lot of moments in the playoffs, but it's tough. It's really like I want to keep him in, but it's like. It's really just like, it's not like a definitive, like, no, get the fuck out. It's just like, damn, bro. I just wish there was like a little bit more, but it's also like, what more could he have really done?
In his role, not really.
His role, not really much. But I think I'm gonna take him out.
For me, it's so tough to even say I'm gonna take him out, Justin, because he wasn't, like we were talking before the show, he wasn't Jamal Crawford where we're putting you as our 6th man, because sometimes, not every team that he was on, but some teams is like, we just have a better guy in front of you.
Yeah.
Ginobili was very like, I'm gonna be humble enough that I'm gonna sacrifice. I'll come off the bench for you guys. But we knew he could have taken money to go anywhere else and been an All-Star there.
He could have.
That's not even like a what if thing, like a hypothetical. Like, we knew it was gonna happen. Like you said, the 2 years that he started, All-Star. All the fucking time, All-Star. That's just more than enough. Those 2 years, All NBA. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous to think that he wouldn't have been that guy outside the Spurs. That's why I hate when people say Tim, Tony, and Manu, sorry, are systematic players. They're better than that. As individuals, they're all really fucking good. Even now, sitting on this couch with days of preparation, I don't know what my answer is, honestly. Individually, yeah, I get it. For what his career actually was, it's not enough by my criteria. But I think he might be one of those special instances where it's like, I'm still going to keep you in because of how much you contributed to the winning, how long you lasted in the league, how much you did actually fucking win, proving the fact that when you did start, you were elite. Like, we knew you were an elite talent, but you decided to sacrifice.
Yeah.
So he's going to be one of the very few guys that I say, all right, this is a special condition. I'm keeping you in.
Nah, yeah. It's really tough.
It is tough.
It's super tough.
He's such a special
Because, yeah,
case.
when you factor in, like, Olympics and international, he should be definitely in. Like, Olympics along with his NBA shit, it's like a no-brainer.
That gold medal, I was talking to Justin right before the show, too. That gold medal, I always said, Justin, I don't care about no other gold medals. I'm not going to say, oh, this guy's a 2-time gold medalist for the USA. Don't care about that. That 04 gold medal, though, I'm going to be honest, it holds some weight to me for this, even. And I'm willing to give him that just to solidify his place because he did what no one else could do. Not alone, obviously. You had a guy like Luis Scola and other good pieces, but you were the face of the team that beat a U.S. men's national basketball team with guys like Tim Duncan and AI on that team. I can't ignore it. I just can't. I'm keeping him in. Next guy on here, Tim Hardaway. I unfortunately kicked him out. 5-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. For me, he just barely misses the cut. And, like, he could get into my Hall of Fame, but it's going to take you many tries. Many, many, many tries. Just like in real life, but in real life, it was because of off-court controversies with what he said on the radio. And also what he said on TV that one time after he apologized for the radio shit. But you peaked in the top 4 of MVP voting, but you weren't great. You were great, and your peak was good enough for me. It wasn't for long enough.
Yeah.
So either you get in after like 10 tries, 10 tries, which would be like the last try, or you just wouldn't make it, and it'll be close. That's my view of Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, man. It wasn't really that. It wasn't that tough.
For you to kick him out?
Not really.
Wow, dude, he was a stud, bro.
Nah, he was. His peak was too short though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's why I said
He had like a 5-year peak, and then 99. He made All NBA second team that year. I don't know how. He wasn't an All-Star.
Hey man, he's just like that.
He made it over Kobe, Marbury, Penny. Well, I guess the competition was stiff that year. Damn, Vince Carter. Damn, what the fuck? Wait, what year? Oh, that was 99. Yeah.
Lockout?
Yeah. That was
that's probably why then.
He wasn't even an All-Star that year, but he was All-NBA second team.
Okay, respect.
But yeah, it's really just the peak was too short. But he was damn good though when in his peak. The Tim Hardaway crossover move should always be taught in every fucking camp. Shit is effective as fuck. But
are you giving him credit as the inventor
of what
the crossover?
Of the crossover in general?
Yep.
No.
That's what he claims.
Nah, I mean, fucking Isaiah Thomas was in
I'm
the
about to say
league,
Isaiah Thomas did first to me. I'm not.
But the Tim Hardaway specific crossover, that shit is.
He still hates on AI's when he's like, "That's
lethal.
a carry."
Lethal. Yeah.
So he said, "That's a carry. I have a real crossover." But I fucks with Tim though. He's cool.
Nah, yeah, I fuck
His
with Tim
game is
Hardaway.
really, really fucking cool and really fun to watch. If you ever have time, go watch Tim Hardaway. Warriors specific. I know he had some good heat years. Warriors specific. Watch his fucking highlights because he was a dog. But yeah, high peak to me. The peak was good enough. Wasn't long enough. Pause. The next guy, Justin, that I want to bring up because I'm as we saw earlier, like I'm ignoring ones where it's like, okay, like there's some sort of discussion. I mean, there's no discussion. Like D Wade has to stay in, right? Next guy is Lou Hudson, bro.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him. 6-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, but he had the good enough peak for about 7 years, just about. he would barely get into mine.
So I'm thinking about it.
Come on, give it to him. Come on.
19. Damn, he got bounced in round 1 in 73. He averaged 29 a game.
Give it to him, bro.
6-time All-Star. He does fit that criteria for me. Only 1-time All-NBA. I couldn't tell you who the comp was in the 70s. I'm about to check right now, though. Jerry West.
In terms of guards?
Walt Frazier.
Jerry West, Gail Goodrich.
Oh, there was no
Pistol
13 back then. So it was him and Oscar.
Pistol Pete, Oscar.
Yeah.
Tiny Archibald.
He does have a good enough sample set. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has like a good 7-8 year peak. But his career was 13 years.
Mm-hmm. He's making it late.
I don't think I'm gonna put him in.
He's out.
Yeah, I think he's out for me.
For me, he's barely in. He's just barely in, but I'll keep him in respectfully.
Not yet. Like he has a nice. Because I feel like if he had a chip,
or even deep runs,
or if he had one deep playoff, actually he would have needed 2. Because for me personally, I'd rather have Manu than him. For me, Manu's more of a convo than him. Yeah. Even though I said no to Manu, Manu has worse stats than Lou Hudson, but I'd probably take Manu over Lou Hudson in Hall of Fame. Yeah.
So you kicking him out?
Yes.
Fair enough, bro. I can't really blame you too much. It was close to me, but I'm keeping him in. This is one of the most interesting ones to me, Justin. This is one that I start off. Chris Bosh, obviously, 11-time All-Star, only 1 All-NBA. We talked about how much comp there was at the power forward position. 2 rings, played in 4 finals. Unfortunately, had to retire at the age of 31, 32 years old. Finished with 17K fucking points. Was close to 10K boards. I'm letting him in. I'm keeping him in. He had the All-Star years. He was good for over a fucking decade. And to be completely honest with you, if he stayed healthy, he would have gotten to 20K easily. Easily, he would have gotten to 20 and 10K. So I'm going to keep him in.
Yo, 11-time All-Star.
Yeah, his peak wasn't crazy, but it was long enough.
Yeah, he had a long peak, and he really sacrificed for the Heat. Mm-hmm. And he really sacrificed for the Heat, which caused his overall stats to drop. But that first year when LeBron was gone, he went back to hooping. And yeah, unfortunately, he had to retire early. But I think if he didn't have to retire, he probably would have been like a 19 to 21 point per game guy and probably would have continued. I think he probably could have been an all-star for 2 to 3 more years had he continued playing.
The forward comp was... Because last year was 14-15 or 15-16?
His last season was 15-16.
Okay, so it's Giannis does come up the next year. Giannis does start going off.
Yeah, for the East.
Melo is still around. But it's if he had 20 points per game, he has a conversation, which that's what he was doing.
Yeah, for the East that year, you had Paul Millsap.
16-17?
This is I'm looking at 15-16, his last All-Star year. You had Paul Millsap, Andre Drummond, Al Horford, who was actually his replacement. Mm-hmm. So Chris Bosh actually made it stamped. Yeah. It's just Al Horford replaced him. And then you obviously had forwards like Paul George, Melo. I think he probably, because Andre Drummond wasn't gonna make it.
Obviously not.
Consistently enough for him to be there and take up a spot. Paul Millsap wasn't gonna continue to make it. So I think Chris Bosh probably could have made it for another 2 years.
How many more years, just in general, do you think he would have kept playing? I think he had another, if he didn't get sick, he had a minimum another 4.
He retired at 31. Yeah, he probably
4 or 5.
I say, yeah. So 2016, yeah, 4-ish.
He could have probably retired in 2020.
The way the league was changing, and he was one of the first guys that made the change to stretch big. He would have had a good second half to his career, and we could have seen that. Damn, man, I feel I feel like the Manu shit is like in my head.
I think this is completely different.
It's tough.
I think he's more stamped than Manu, honestly, as an individual.
That's true. That is true.
All-Star
11
games,
All-Stars is...
And that wasn't even what should have been your whole career. That was till you were 31 years old. That says a fucking lot to me.
Yeah, he really would have been like
All-Stars.
a 13, maybe 14.
14 years,
and that's
bro.
like, damn, you can't really ignore that.
You can't. Even with the one All-NBA, you can't ignore that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be completely honest. He would have had a better chance to make All-NBA if he kept playing. Because, remember, the reason he only made it one time, Dirk, Paul, KG, Tim Duncan, like all them guys was competition. Zach Randolph didn't even make it to that shit ever.
That's true.
Zach Randolph was never no fucking All-Star, and that's another guy you're competing with, you feel me?
Yeah.
Power forward position was fucking disgusting back then.
And they don't win that 13 finals without him. Blocking Danny Green in game 6, getting that big ass rebound.
The board. Let's also
Allen.
talk about this. Fuck the finals. Just for the whole entire Heatles run.
Yeah.
Whenever Bron would rarely sit or whenever D Wade would sit, just one of them had to sit.
Yeah.
He would go off. Because he was like, all right, now I got to fucking step up. 16 isn't enough for us to win. I got to drop 25. He could do it. There was actual moments that he did. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, not really. But in the regular season, there was moments where he was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking step up because LeBron has to rest today. Because D Wade is actually hurt. Yeah. I'm going to drop 25. I'm going to drop 30. I'm going to hit the game winner, which you've seen him do.
Oh, the game winner against Portland? Yeah,
we've seen him do it. Like, he was good enough, bro. It's that he sacrificed.
Yeah.
He fucking sacrificed. And I'm not saying that goes into my decision because that's like an emotional thing. But stats-wise and longevity and the peak, Chris Bosh is stamped for me. It's an interesting convo. I get he wasn't the elite of the elite, but he was great for a decade. And that's good enough for me. Either be pretty damn good for a long time or be elite for like 7-8 years, and you're going to get it from me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep Chris Bosh in. Because I remember when they was first forming the Heatles, I didn't really, like, I was still early watching ball, but, like, I didn't really know much about Chris Bosh. But, like, from my understanding, when they were first getting together, people were regarding him as, like, yo, this is a top motherfucker in the league.
Because he was.
Yeah, 24 and 10 his last year in Toronto.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why people don't, this is why people got to give Chris Bosh credit, right? Because... And this isn't even like a message just to LeBron here. This is a message to everybody. You can't say like you can't say on one hand like, all right, there's a super team, and on the other hand be like, oh, but Chris Bosh wasn't really all that. Because the reason why we were scared of the Heatles when they first got together was that it was 3 top All-Stars getting together. It wasn't because it was Bron and D Wade. It was because it was Bron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. That shit just sounds crazy. That's why it sounded crazy. You can't just say it was because it was Bron and D Wade. Adding Chris Bosh was what was like, whoa, this is a super team. This is a fucking super team. Because you can't tell me. Because if people want to argue like, oh, Kobe and Shaq isn't a super team because only 2 guys, you can't say that Bron and Wade would have been as scared of the Heatles as like without Bosh as we would have with him. That's my argument. And him being regarded that high to be a 3rd member of a super team, you're fucking good enough. Yeah. You were really the fucking man for your own team in Toronto. You're stamped for me, bro. Bob Dandridge, making this quick. You're out. Couple All-Stars, 2 NBAs. Nothing crazy, bro. You're just out.
Yeah.
Unless Justin has some defense for you, you're fucking out.
Nah, he's out.
Tony Kukoc, you're out.
Out.
Sorry.
I love Tony Kukoc, but I'm sorry.
Part of a 3-peat. I get it. Bro, international shit. I get it. You're out.
His only awards was 6-man.
That's it.
96.
Paul Pierce stays. Don't really gotta say much about him.
Yeah, the truth. He stays in.
Respect to him. Ben Wallace. Another tough one, Justin. One of the best defenders of all time. 4-time All-NBA. 4-time All-Star. 5-time All-NBA. Some rebound championships, a block championship, and obviously 4 DPOYs, a ring, contained Shaq in the finals. He was only 6'9".
I think I'm gonna keep him in.
He's stamped.
I'm keeping him in.
He's not even like, oh, you're gonna make it at the end of the selections. You're stamped for me, bro.
Nah, he's making it, bro.
He's like that.
And I know what people are gonna say, like, oh, he averaged 5 points a game.
I don't care.
That wasn't his role. This motherfucker was like the best defensive player in the world
grabbing you 13
Yeah,
boards.
and it's even more impressive too because it's coming at a time when you have Kevin Garnett in the league, Tim Duncan in the league, prime Ron Artest in the league. You got all these motherfuckers in the league, and he's still the best defensive player in the league. And then you're talking about a guy who shut down Shaq in the finals, which is unheard of because Shaq in the finals, you look at his numbers, that motherfucker turns into a fucking monster in the finals. And bro, it's just Ben Wallace's peak was fucking crazy. Like it was unbelievable the shit he was able to do. And really those 4 DPOYs is hard to ignore. And then on top of that, go to back-to-back finals as the anchor to the defense, and you win a championship in 04. So I don't even really think it was that tough. It's like sometimes you got to get reminded of like the great shit he did. And like the shit he did was super great, and especially in the time of like in that time in the NBA with all the elite big men talent. And the shit he was able to do at that time was fucking crazy. So he stays in for me.
Another tough one right after that. Chris Webber, 5-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, had one deep playoff run. This is difficult for me because the accolades themselves, and like you just said, with all the big man talent, specifically in the West, I feel like it kind of kept him out of All-Star games and All-NBA. But he had like 10, 11 years with 20 points per game. That's why I even changed my mind just sitting in this room recording. I initially had him out. I think I'm going to keep him.
It's so tough, bro. I love Chris Webber. He's one of my favorite like old players of all time. And I always I go defend Chris Webber. Like I will be one of those motherfuckers that does that because this guy was like another guy just like Ben Wallace in that era of big men in the NBA. He was in that conversation, like especially with the Kings. Like I remember being like a young trying to learn about the NBA. Like my dad telling me about Chris Webber. Like Chris Webber was like that motherfucker.
He was.
And watching the Fab Five doc, like that made me fuck with him even more. And he was just one of those guys that came into the league like off rip, like number 1 player in the country, number 1 pick in the draft, came into the league like was a monster off rip. And
points.
Yeah, and he was a fucking 20 point per game guy, and the Kings 27 point per game guy. I think he was All NBA first team one time. I think that was what 01?
Let me check. It was 01 or 02.
It was one of those years, and that's big. And this is a guy who didn't make he was either left off All NBA because he's in the league with Tim Duncan,
01.
Shaq, 01, and that was probably the most lit All NBA year. So to make
of all time,
there's a lot of this nigga made All NBA because it was weak that year. If you ever want to grade All NBA seasons in terms of competition,
01.
2001 was probably the toughest All NBA season ever
for forward specifically.
Yeah, and I'm not even. Yeah, we're talking about. You could say that because that was what 01. I'm about to look at it right now. You had AI first team, Jason Kidd first team, Tim Duncan, Shaq, and Chris Webber in the first team. Kobe Bryant didn't even make first team. So I want that tells you how tough that really was. And this was a season where Kobe Bryant averaged 28.5 points per game.
So you had T-Mac, KG, Kobe, Vince, Mutombo.
Mutombo second team. And then third team, you had Ray Allen, Gary Payton, Dirk, David Robinson, Karl Malone.
Guys left off, Paul Pierce, Sheed, Robinson.
Was that when Sheed was averaging 29 a game? Yeah.
19.
Yeah. No.
You're looking at Stackhouse, I think.
Oh, yeah,
Sheed had
Stackhouse.
19.
Oh, yeah. I mixed them up.
But even Stackhouse missed out, bro.
He averaged
29.8. But it was inefficient as hell. We got to talk about that.
Inefficient, and the team was whack as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not glazing like that. It's hard to get 30 in the league and then average 30. Yeah. But he was chucking.
And Chris Webber was one of those motherfuckers in the playoffs. He stepped up except for the last 3 minutes of the game. That's when he really folded. But it's tough though because similar to Chris Bosh, I know Chris Bosh had the big all-star appearances for the individual and shit. I think Chris Webber, if he didn't get hurt in '03, I think he probably would have continued because that injury really fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because if Chris Webber doesn't get hurt in '03, I think he could still make it for like another 4 years. And then you're talking about a 9-time All-Star with maybe more All-NBAs because at that point, I mean, Shaq is still good, but like maybe Chris Webber could have better seasons. It's tough because in the West, that in that time period with forwards, it was just very tough to make All NBA. But I still think he could have been an All Star still if he didn't get hurt. Am I keeping him in?
I'm keeping him, bro.
It's tough. It's very tough. I love Chris Webber, but it's very tough. I think I'm gonna keep him in though. It's tough. I'm gonna keep him in.
I'm gonna stay on this 2001 All NBA shit just so you can hear some people. He made it over. Sheed averaging 19, Paul Pierce averaging 25, Tonio McDyess about 21 and 12, Glenn Robinson 22. Vladdy and Camby wouldn't be competition. Anthony Mason 16 and 10 just about. Sean Marion 17 and about 11. Jalen Rose 25 and 6. Sharif Abdur-Rahim 20 and 9, bro. You got Anton Jameson 24.9, 8.7. Antoine Walker 23 and 9. Disgusting, bro. I think you're right. This might be the toughest All NBA competition
bro.
ever.
In 2001, he was 4th for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He had more votes than Kevin Garnett, T Mac, Karl Malone, Jason Kidd, Kobe, David Robinson, and he got 5 first place votes.
Could have won.
He got more first place votes than KG.
And who finished above him? Would that be Shaq, AI, and who else?
AI, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. Those are the only guys that finished
Tim
above
Duncan
him.
And Shaq. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bugging saying T-Mac, even though he had that 27.
Yeah.
2020, the whole class stays from this. Kobe, Tim Duncan, Shaq. Kobe, Tim Duncan, KG. Everyone stays.
Yeah, everybody stays.
We know who they are. We don't got to say much, to be honest with you. Carl Braun, you're out. I'm just saying. 50s player, 5-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, you're out. Sorry.
All-NBA second team. Who was even the comp back then? I couldn't. All-NBA second team averaging 15? Shit, life was sweet.
That life was sweet.
Holy shit.
Charles Cooper, you're out. I don't got to say much, respectfully.
Chuck Cooper.
I never even heard of you, so I don't even know why you're in.
0-time All-Star?
Mm-hmm. 0 rings, I think, too.
0-time All-Star, no rings. Why the fuck is he in the Hall of Fame?
Probably just something important outside of it, but I'm not giving him that.
Yeah, get out.
Vlade Divac, 1-time All-Star. Need I explain more is what I put in my notes. I'm not putting him in.
Yeah. Yeah, you drafted Bagley over Luka.
And then had Luka talk to you about that shit in a fucking game.
Yeah.
All right, this one's kind of tough, to be honest with you. This is the one where I'm using a special clause, the Secretary of Defense, Bobby Jones. Now, I know what I said about Michael Cooper. You're just a defensive guy, yada, yada, yada. Bobby Jones was 11-time All-Defensive, 6th Man of the Year. He had some ABA All-Stars, but also some NBA All-Stars. By the way, with ABA, Justin, now we finally got to an ABA guy. How much weight are you putting into ABA statistics and accolades? Because I'm be honest with you, I allowed it because they still had comp.
Yeah,
Dr. J is comp.
I still allowed it too. It was basically the league before the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had you kind of really have to gauge their accolades and stats because the ABA was 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just decided to take all right, whatever their best 4 or 5 years were from that time period. If it was very, very overwhelming, I can't even ignore it, you're in.
Yeah.
But if it was in that 9-year period, you only really had 2 outstanding years and every other year you was cool, then it's I don't know. But if in those 9 years you had a good 4, 5, 6 years of you being like that, you get a nod.
I'm not counting chips though. There, I'm not gonna lie. I don't care about the championships.
Yeah, I don't care about the
But
chips.
like your stats and MVP and All Star,
Even
and
though
all
Dr. J
ABA,
won what, like 3 chips in the NBA,
yeah, something like that, 2 or 3. Like I'm counting these stats. Bobby Jones was a ABA All Star and NBA All Star. That's my thing. He was one of the best defenders of all time. 11-time All Defensive, which was more than Michael Cooper. DPOY didn't exist yet for most of his career. And then he still made the All Star game.
Yeah,
I'm keeping him in.
yeah.
It's only 5 times, but you were one of the best defenders in the NBA 11 times. I'm keeping you in.
Yeah.
I don't really want to argue too much about him.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Bobby Jones, he's staying in because even if you look at just NBA, he's an 8-time All Defensive First Team.
Mm-hmm.
He was 6th Man of the Year in 1983. He was a part of that 4-4-4 team in Philly, 1983. They swept the Lakers.
One of the best teams of all time is 83.
Yeah, one of the best. Yeah, that was the Sixers' last championship. That Sixers team was fucking great. And he was a big part of that. And even if you want to include ABA, like actually that 76 he was second for MVP, averaging 15.
Because his defense, bro.
Yeah, his defense was like that. But I'm keeping Bobby Jones in. I remember back in the days, like first watching NBA, and NBA TV had that show NBA 80s, and they had a Bobby Jones segment.
Because he was like that.
And that's how I really found out about him. He was the type of motherfucker, like he was diving in the crowd for loose balls, always running the break, punching it on niggas, and he was their stopper, their point of attack defender. And yeah, he was a big part to that Philly team that won the chip in '83. And his sample size in the NBA, like it's enough for me to keep him in. 8-time first team All Defense is fucking crazy.
And another 3 where you were the second team. That's fucking insane. Probably one of the best defensive peaks of all time, bro. One of the best defenders of all time. Following that is another one of the best defenders of all time. The inaugural DPOY, Sidney Moncrief, won the first 2 DPOYs back to back. 5-time All-Star. How many All-NBAs? 5-time All-Star, 5 All-NBA, 5 All-Defensive. Then 5 years was his whole peak, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's why this is tough for me.
2-time DPOY too. Yeah.
Another one of my ones where it's like back to back, where it's like special kind of like I kind of have to keep you in, but after many rounds of voting, years of voting, I'm keeping Sidney Moncrief.
It's tough, bro.
He's a rare special case too.
Because his peak was really like 5. It was really 5 seasons.
He was giving MJ problems, bro.
But his 5 seasons was like, 2-time DPOY, All NBA first team 1 time, All Defensive 4 times, All Star in those years. It's tough. It's very tough. Damn, man, it's very tough. The first DPOY, and he was doing this shit
first 2.
Yeah, first 2, and he was doing that shit as a guard. Damn, it's very tough.
It could go either way.
It really could. Damn, and it's crazy because in that point in time, you have to guard Isaiah Thomas, you have to guard Michael Jordan, you have to guard Magic Johnson, you have to guard Joe Dumars, you have it's a lot of comp, and this is the point in time when you still have Ralph Sampson in the league, Hakeem Olajuwon is just coming in the league. A bunch of motherfuckers in the league.
Michael Cooper,
Bobby Jones, and you're like undoubtedly like a top defensive player in the league.
James Worthy.
I'm keeping him in.
I'm keeping him in too.
It's close though. It's very close. I'm gonna keep him in though.
It is very close, but it's just not only were you the first guy to win DPOY, you did it back to back.
Yeah.
And like you just said, all those premier guards during that time, all-time greats, by the way. You have to go pick them up. And then, like you mentioned, you're also going against to win these 2 DPOIs. Some of the best defenders ever, and you won both of them. I got to respect that.
Yeah.
I just have to. I can't take that away from him.
Yeah, and at least 1984, he had a playoff run. Like,
yeah.
He went to the ECF, lost to the Celtics, Larry Bird.
Celtics.
It's just one of the best fucking franchises and dynasties ever. At least he got a playoff run.
Next is Paul Westphal, 5-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA. 5 straight 20-point per game seasons, but fell off a cliff. I kicked him out.
Yeah, one All NBA first team. Actually, no, 3-time All NBA first team. One All NBA second team. But then he does have a chip with the Celtics, but he averaged 5 points a game.
I don't mean none.
Yeah, I'm kicking him out.
Jack Sigma is another weird one. 7 All-Stars, no All-NBA, but he has a ring and all defensive. I actually decided to keep him in, to be honest with you, Justin. Many fucking years of sustaining a double-double. I gotta respect that.
Yeah, Jack Sigma. He was low-key slept on guy, like when he was in the league.
Look like Jack Frost.
Yeah.
You do, no disrespect.
He really do. He was a consistent double guy.
For at least like 8 years,
Yeah.
it looks like.
Yeah, 7-time All-Star. Damn. I think the ring is gonna be what propels me, because that 79 Sonics ring.
Only ring they got,
and that was a big ring in history. He averaged 16 and 15 in that finals.
Mm-hmm.
So that motherfucker was...
Against who?
They played...
Sixers?
Washington Bullets.
Wow. Yeah, that's a random ass matchup.
Yeah. So he was averaging 16 and 15 in that finals, doing his thing. He gets a slight nod in.
Yeah, he's you waited 6-7 years, maybe 8 years to get voted in. You have 10 years max to stay on the ballot.
Like, he's getting in when the class is like,
Yeah, so,
when it's a lot of coaches and WNBA players, you could sneak in.
And so you waited a couple years, I'm letting you in.
Yeah.
Justin, this is a powerhouse fucking what's it called? Hall of Fame class right here, 2018. Ray Allen, don't have to say much.
He stays.
He's gonna fucking stay. Mo Cheeks, I kicked him out. 4-time All-Star, all defensive, part of one of the best teams of all time. Sorry, he's not making mine though. Man. You think of keeping him in? I can't.
I thought about it.
I can't.
Cause he was, Mo Cheeks. Cause he was four times All NBA first team defense.
Yeah.
And same thing with Moncrief. Like, I mean, he wasn't no DPOY, but
he was also no All NBA to me. That's what's kicking him out.
Yeah, but he still had to go out there and guard those tough ass motherfuckers.
True.
And he was a big part of that 83 Sixers team as well. A real big part of that team. That motherfucker was tasked with guarding Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And they swept them. It's tough. Very tough.
Here's what I'll say, because I know you mentioned Sidney Moncrief. Sidney Moncrief, what separates him is he did it for shorter, yes, but he has 2 DPOYs.
And he still averaged 20-something pounds.
Yeah, he still averaged 20-something. He was an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Bobby Jones has way more all defensive teams.
Yeah.
He was a elite defender for way longer than Mo Cheeks. That's why he gets in over him. They both accomplish more in different ways than Mo Cheeks, where I can't put him in that same category of those guys with special inclusions. If he was 10-time all defense, maybe even 8, I'll be like, damn, I might have to let you in after a couple of rounds. But with just that 4, I got to leave him out.
Yeah.
It's not enough for me.
Yeah. I think he'll be out.
You kick him out?
Because Michael Cooper might have a slight better case than him.
Think so?
Because
he was all-star.
Yeah, that's true.
He was all-star 4 times.
Yeah, because Michael Cooper, didn't Michael Cooper win a DPOY?
Yeah, he has DPOY, and I think it was like 8 all-defensive, 8 or 10, right? But no all-star.
Yeah, no all-star.
And you can make an all-star team as a defender type of guy. He just wasn't good enough. Like, on the offensive end. If Michael Cooper had like 14 points, bro, he would have made it one time. As a 14-point per game guy, but he just wasn't contributing enough on offense. So that's why, Mo Cheeks, you're out, bro.
Yeah, I love Mo Cheeks. Pause.
Yeah, pause, big pause. Grant Hill is one of the most interesting guys on this fucking list.
Oh yeah, shout out Mo Cheeks because he's on the Knicks coaching staff now.
Yeah, shout out to him. He looked old as hell all the time, just like his face. But Grant Hill, you're the Duke representative. I'm gonna let you talk first. But 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year. Justin, is Grant Hill a Hall of Famer to you in terms of the NBA?
No,
Why not?
he's not. Peak too short, but unfortunately that had to do with injuries. He was really he was low key the LeBron before LeBron. Yeah, Rookie of the Year, 94, All NBA first team in 97. Grant Hill was like that coming into the league. I just don't think it was enough, and that really is mostly because the injuries. He did have a bounce back year in 05 where he averaged 19 a game for Orlando, but it's not really there's not enough here to justify him being in the Hall of Fame. And even with that being said, it's like even with Detroit where that was his best years. I mean, granted the team was bad. There was no playoff runs. He was a first round and out guy all those years.
He wasn't elevating his team that much.
Yeah, and even in the playoffs, he was cool. He wasn't like a playoff riser. He was cool, or his stats dropped down a little bit in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's enough. And I love Grant Hill, but I don't think it's enough for it to justify for him being in the Hall of Fame.
Like you said, LeBron prototype. He was another guy who was tasked with being the guy to carry the league while Jordan's retired. Obviously, before Jordan had that first comeback. And like you said, bro, it just wasn't enough. One of them All-Star appearances, too, was fraudulent, bro. 4 games. Yeah. It was just popular as hell. It's popular as fuck. But one of your All-Star games, like, you were so injury-riddled. You even played 10 games. You still got voted in.
That's crazy.
You got injured so much, which isn't your choice. You don't choose to get injured. But you just weren't great enough for long enough. Them early Detroit years, if you sustain that for a couple more years, like, I would give it to you. And injuries robbed you of a proper Hall of Fame career. But I cannot say that you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
In terms of a Hall of Fame with actual critique, where it's actually hard to get into. I'm not putting him in, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think, the Duke shit really carried it a little bit.
Yeah, it probably helped too.
Because he was a freshman on that. He was starting as a freshman for Duke, and they won the chip. Then they won again when he was a sophomore. And then I think his senior year, he led them to the national championship, but they lost to Arkansas. Shout out to Nolan Smith.
Shout out to Arkansas.
Yeah. You would have liked that Arkansas team.
I don't really fuck with Arkansas. Boring ass state. I can't lie.
But yeah, Grant Hill, not enough.
J. Kidd and Steve Nash.
Yeah, stamped. 2
of my favorite players, 2 of my first favorite players. I'm going to keep mentioning that shit on the pod. I got love for them. Beyond stamp, bro. Inner Circle Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Inner Circle.
Shout out Jason Kidd, one of my favorite players of all time. Shout out to my twin. Yeah, it's stamped. Steve Nash, stamped. Yeah, it's not really much you could say about them. Stamped. And it's even more impressive with Steve Nash because, like, motherfucker started turning up later in his career.
In his 30s.
In his 30s. Motherfucker was drafted at 22 years old, and we started looking at him differently by the time he hit 30, which is crazy.
To have your peak be in your 30s, like your early 30s to your mid to late 30s is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's why I always got respect for him. Dino Raja, you're out. No All-Stars, no NBA, no rings. You're out. It was mostly, if I had to guess, it was for international. Sorry, buddy, you're out.
Charlie Scott.
Charlie Scott. 5-time All-Star.
Damn, that nigga averaged 30, 34.
Yeah, one time, though.
One time. And he didn't make All-NBA?
No.
What does that say about you? So he's
No, this is here's why, Justin.
ABA?
He played ABA and then he quit towards the end of the season and went to the NBA. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. He quit towards the end of the season and said, I'm going to go to the NBA. But even in the NBA, like, all right, you had one cool ABA season. 2, I respect it. Your first 2 years were great.
Yeah.
After that, you wasn't really on shit. Like, you was a mid-20 point per game guy, and then you fell off.
And I'm guessing they didn't have all NBA back then, or he just didn't make it.
That's not the case, Justin. You know why?
Why?
He made all ABA first team his rookie year. Finished third in MVP vote. Not 33 points. I'm guessing because he quit, they didn't put him on. That's my...
No, but I'm talking about his 3 years in the NBA.
No, dude, there's... All NBA's been a thing for a minute.
Oh, so he just didn't make it.
He just wasn't good enough.
Okay, so, yeah, you're out.
That's all there is to it. He just wasn't good enough,
Yeah,
bro.
he's out.
Next, we're all the way into 2017. This is where I want to have that ABA conversation with you the most. George McInnes. Let's just be real. He has an ABA MVP, 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-ABA. I don't really care about the 2 ABA championships, 6 All-Stars. Are you keeping him in?
So
I kept him. I'm gonna let you know right now.
1 MVP, damn, 30 a game.
Mm-hmm.
All NBA, All ABA first team twice. Finished third in MVP. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him in.
He was pretty damn good for 8 years.
I'm gonna keep him in there. And then even when he got to the NBA, he was still pretty good. 3-time All-Star in the league.
Joined Dr. J.
Yeah, and like I said, like his years in the ABA were, like, you can't really ignore that. Led the ABA in scoring in 75.
Demon.
Yeah, and that was with Dr. J in the ABA as well. Mm-hmm. And Dr. J in the ABA was like
David Thompson,
basically like Michael Jordan in the ABA. So that's pretty impressive. You can't ignore that. So I'm gonna keep him in.
Next is another difficult one. T-Mac, 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, 2 scoring champs, most improved. I'll go first. Although injuries robbed him, just like they robbed Grant Hill, you feel me? His peak was way higher and longer than Grant Hill's. So it was both. That's why he's staying in. Multiple top MVP finishes. You averaged 32 in the hardest era to score. You feel me? You was up there in MVP candidates with Tim Duncan and KG. I think those were the 2 guys that finished ahead of him the year that he said that he should have won, where he inappropriately said that Tim Duncan's just a system player. And Shaq had to correct him. But his years that he was good were amazing. They were elite. And unfortunately, he fell off right before 30. Right before you're 30 years old. So just imagine if he was healthy. I hate doing the what-if games when it comes to Hall of Fame. But you don't even have to play what if with him like you do with Grant Hill.
Yeah, you don't.
This was more than enough a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah. We're
just robbed of you becoming an inner circle Hall of Famer. He should have had another 6 more good years. He should have really retired like in like the 14-15 season, let's say. How old was he in 12-13? 33? Bro, he should have retired like at 35, probably 36. As a guy who was still like low key on the fence of making the All-Star game.
Yeah, and even that 08 year, he wasn't an All-Star, but he was still damn good. And I believe that was the year where the Rockets won, like, didn't they go on like an 18-game winning streak or some shit like that?
That was a big ass winning streak. I think it was 20.
It could be. I don't remember off the top of my head, but like they went on a crazy ass winning streak, and they were viewed as contenders at that point. Him, Yao Ming, was Ron Artest on that team?
I believe so.
Shane Battier was on that team. Skip to my Lou.
Aaron Brooks was there yet or no? Might have been.
He might have been, but that he was a big part to that team. You basically said everything that had to be said. He had probably the best peak, even though his peak wasn't that long, but obviously because of injuries. He did it in the hardest era with all the, you had all the guards and the fucking wings and the forwards in that era. You're competing with, because he was getting in as a forward, right? In his All-NBAs or as a guard?
Some of them is forward, some of them is guard.
Yeah, so even then, it's like you're still competing with Kobe Bryant.
Houston, you were a forward. Orlando, you're a guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like even then, you're competing with Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, and then Forwards, you're competing with Garnett, Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, Dirk, and then like
You said Braun already?
I didn't. Braun too. Yeah, Braun too. So
Paul Pierce,
in the
Melo.
hardest, yeah, Paul Pierce, Melo, in the hardest like era of like talent at the guard position and the wing position and the forward position, you had probably one of the best peaks, better peak than Vince Carter.
That's not a
Yeah,
discussion.
not even a discussion. Yeah, and I think he's another guy. If he didn't get hurt, his peak probably would have been longer. And I agree with you. There is no what if for him because we saw a good enough sample size for him. The only knock you could really have against T-Mac is the playoffs because I don't think he ever got out the first round ever.
Blew a 3-1 lead to the Pistons. Yeah. Honestly, the one that bugs me the most, though, that he should have won, and there's the one that no T-Mac fan can give me excuses for because I like T-Mac, you should have beaten Baron Davis and the Hornets, my nigga.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for you to lose that one. Every other one, even blowing the 3-1 lead, it's like, damn, you lost like the champions, honestly. But blowing 3-1 lead is still nasty. But it's like, besides that, bro, it's like, Baron Davis and the Hornets? No. Can't stand for that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's really the only knock you could have on T-Mac. It's just the playoffs. That's really, the only thing. That's the only thing. But at the same time, it was deadass just him. Didn't have no one else.
It's true. He didn't really have help. His best help was Mike Miller.
Yeah, Mike Miller and Pat Garrity. Yeah. And then you had Doc Rivers as your coach. Yeah,
it was a recipe for disaster, bro.
Yeah.
And you thought you was saying Grant Hill and Tim Duncan. You didn't get Tim, and you got a broken down Grant Hill, unfortunately.
Yeah.
2016, Justin, I'm not going to lie. Everyone here stays. I do want to open the Yao Ming conversation because we know AI and Shaq is stamped. Is Yao Ming stamped for you, number one?
He's not for me.
So you didn't make it for you?
Yeah, I'm not keeping him in.
I kept him in.
I'm not keeping him in.
Explain why you're not keeping him in.
I just think, I mean, this is another guy who career didn't last long because of the injuries. Only played 8 years in the league. His best season, 2007. Mm-hmm. He was all NBA second team.
25.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in 2009 as well. I just don't think it was like really enough to, cause if you really think about it, it was really those two, and I feel like 2004, yeah, he made All NBA third team, but the competition wasn't that crazy. And
hey man, 17.5 and 9 is nothing to scoff at still on 2 blocks.
It's not, but it's like, I don't know. I just feel like there had to be, for the shortness of his career, even though it's not on him, it's the injuries. Yeah. I would have liked a little bit more, especially with the class that he's in with those guys, because you're in a class with AI, Shaq. Mm. Who else is in that class?
That's it.
Just them two?
Players wise, yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. He did have some good years, and even then in 2007, which was probably his best year, he only played 48 games. 2006, and it's tough, bro. It's very tough. And then playoffs as well. They never had a deep run. I think he only got out the first round once, and that was 2009. And that's really it. There's really no case for him. Like, even though with T-Mac we said he never got out the first round, but his peak was like, you couldn't even deny it. Like him winning scoring champs when Allen Iverson was in the league, averaging 30 like every other year. That's impossible to ignore. I feel like Yao Ming you could probably put him in the class of what if and Hall of very good, but Hall of Fame is like not really. I mean, yeah, if you take into account like international, fuck yeah, because in Shanghai he was a fucking demon. Mm-hmm. But the NBA, not quite enough, and some of it's not even on him. But it's just not enough for me.
I'm keeping because I know it's 8-time All-Star. That last one is fraudulent, so it's really 7. 5 All NBA. I got to keep him in, Justin, because the entire time that he was in the league, he was dominant. He was fucking dominant from day one. I understand rookie year, it was just like 13-9, I think it was. Let me see. It was 13-8, 13 and a half and 8. But besides that, we knew this guy was a 20-point per game double-double. And then, like you said, as good as 25 points per game. A bunch of All-NBAs, a couple of them second teams. I have to respect the accolades that he got in a short amount of time. And I wish he did play into the mid-2010s. Because it would have been interesting to see how he would compete against certain guys.
He was only 30 years old when he retired.
He retired very fucking young, bro. Retired in the 10-11 season. It's very sad, bro. But I'm still keeping him in just based on how good of a player he was when he was healthy. Next is going to be the 2015 class, where honestly there's not much. You got Louis Dampier, who I'm sorry, he's out.
Damn, he was mostly ABA.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's out, bro.
Wait, with all due respect, he's out.
ABA, how many years did he play? Yeah.
12 years.
12 years in there.
9 of it in the ABA, right? I'm not putting him
And
in
even then, in the ABA, he had 2 real, like, good years. Mm-hmm. And every other year, he was cool. So, yes, it's not enough.
This one's interesting to me. Spencer Haywood. Because he won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the ABA, then went to the NBA. He averaged 30 and 19.5. Just that enough is fucking insane.
Yeah, that is.
30 and 19.5. Then after that, he was a 20 and 12 guy for about like the next 6 years. After that, he was kind of good. Had a couple other like 20-point per game seasons. I'm keeping him in. Me personally. He was a dog, bro. 4-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, champ, NBA champ, by the way. ABA, Rookie of the Year, and MVP. I'm keeping him in.
I'm going to have to take him out just for the sole fact he tried to put out a hit on the Lakers in 1980 because he wasn't getting playing time. So, try to take out Magic Johnson. That's not going to fly with me.
Why you say it like that? That shit was funny as hell. You say, you put out a hit, like mad calm and shit. That was fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
There's another interesting convo.
And he was on crack when they was trying to win the finals.
All right, relax. All right, Tom Heinsohn, right? 8-time All-Star. No, sorry. 6-time All-Star, 8-time champion. 4-time All-NBA. Rookie of the Year. Justin, is he staying for you? Short ass career.
Wait,
too.
This is 2015?
Tom Heinsohn, yeah.
Tom Heinsohn, Boston
Celtics legend.
Damn, that nigga got mad chips. Damn.
Bus rider though, never driver.
All NBA second team 4 times.
Yep.
Rookie of the
4
year.
4 years in a row. It's just short career. That's what's
short
kind of bugging
career.
me.
I'm not keeping him in.
I'm kicking him out.
Cause
you was winning in that time. I respect that, but bus rider number 1.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys on that team. I mean, he was a big contributor.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Like I said, all NBA second team was like
shout out
Havlicek was better than him.
Yeah, shout out Jersey though. He's from Union City.
And obviously Bill Russell was better than him too, that whole run. So there's 2 guys better than you.
Yeah, and the career was short. Yao Ming had better numbers than you.
Yeah. Shout out to Yao Ming. Now the way you said it was low-key funny. There's another difficult one, Justin, that was kind of weird. I'm going to spoil it right now. I'm keeping him. Dikembe Mutombo, 8-time All-Star, 2-time rebound champ, 3-time block champ, 3 All-NBA, 4 DPOY, 6 All-Defensive. Are you keeping Dikembe Mutombo in?
I am keeping Dikembe Mutombo in. Coming into the league at the pinnacle of NBA center talent. Mm-hmm. In the 90s when literally you literally had all the star players were big men back then, and he was one of the best defensive players ever, holding his own. And he is another guy, 4-time DPOY. Damn, what's the short list for that? It's just him, Ben Wallace, and Gobert? Mm-hmm. It's just them, right? Yeah, he's in for me. Having to go up against Hakeem Olajuwon every night, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaq.
Hell.
Like
Alonzo Mourning.
Like having to go up against all those motherfuckers, it's tough, man. And he held his own. And then even he played until 2009. You still had to deal with like KG.
He was old as fuck,
yeah,
bro.
you still had to deal with KG, Dwight Howard. Like, you still had to deal with all that shit. And for him to come out with 4 DPOYs, and even in 2001 when he was pretty old.
That was exactly what I was about to say. It's like 2001, we always think about that. I was like, damn, it was an old Mutombo AI because he was 35. Bro, he was there on fucking Rockets with Team
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. And
retired like at 42.
And I'll never forget when they upset the Supersonics.
Yeah. And then he was holding the ball while laying down.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep him in.
Could have been a Supersonics ring. That's the only thing that bothers me because I fuck with GP heavy. Next one is JoJo White, 7-time All-Star, 2 rings, Finals MVP, 2 All-NBAs. This is kind of a weird one to me, but I kept him out because his peak was nothing crazy.
Yeah, he has damn, that nigga was a Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't really. Peak was cool, not that crazy like you said. Was only All NBA second team twice. Just not enough to stay
As an
in.
individual.
Yeah, as an individual. Even though he's a 7-time All-Star, won a Finals MVP, it's not enough.
And then next we got the 2014 class. We're gonna go with. We're not even gonna go with him. Sarunas is out.
Slick Leonard. Oh no, he was a coach.
Nah, Sarunas is out. I understand a lot of international guys, especially the Slavic ones, look up to him as a legend.
Yeah.
He's out for me. Alonzo Mourning. Interesting conversation, Justin. He has the All-Stars. Doesn't really have the All-NBAs. He has the DPOYs. 7-time All-Star. 2 All-NBA. Champion. 2 DPOYs. 2 All-Defensive. Is that enough to move the needle to make Alonzo Mourning a Hall of Famer?
He got the 2 DPOYs, very impressive. All NBA first team once, All NBA second team once. That's about it. But at that time, centers and forwards, stiff competition.
A lot.
Yeah,
all those guys you named earlier.
7-time All-Star, especially in the early to mid 90s when you had all that comp. And yeah, he was a champion, but at that point he was like,
he was old. He was cooked.
Yeah, he was cooked.
That was his 14th year.
Yeah, he was probably, I couldn't even tell you what option he was.
Behind Kobe, behind D Wade and Shaq,
Antoine Walker.
Are we gonna give Jason Williams?
Could.
Jason
Gary
Williams
Payton was on that team too.
Oh, GP, yeah, GP was above you.
I
know you want to keep him, Justin.
I don't.
I do.
It's tough.
It's to me, it's like the only reason that he didn't get the more All NBAs was because of the competition.
The competition, yeah.
But the 2 DPOYs moved.
Yeah, that is the biggest factor. DPOY in 99, DPOY in 2000. He won it back to back too. Very good case.
Keep him in, Justin.
It's very tough.
Come on, let's keep him in. He deserve it.
Yeah, I'll keep him in.
Let's fucking go, man.
Very close.
Next is one of my favorite players. That's before my time. One of my favorite guys to watch, Mitch Richmond. He has the All-Stars, right? You got 6 All-Star finishes.
Yeah.
5 All-NBA. You got a championship with the Lakers very late. You got a Rookie of the Year. My thing is this. I know he was playing on a losing franchise. Should have never been broken up in terms of run TMC. I'm going to keep him in because this guy averaged 20 for 10 straight years. And the only shooting guard that was better than him in the league during his time was literally just Michael Jordan when he came in. Like at the start, it was Clyde Drexler and MJ. Yeah. But after that, by like 93 or like 94, you were the second best shooting guard in the league, only behind Mike. I have to respect that to some sort of extent. I'm keeping him in. And maybe it's biased. I fuck with Mitch Richmond, but I got to keep that boy in, bro.
It's tough. I mean, yeah, he averaged 20 for a long time.
10 straight years.
10 straight years.
And then the one that he missed was 19.7.
Yeah.
He's right there.
It's tough. I mean, the thing that throws it down for me is just the lack of playoff success. He's only had. They haven't even really had like a big run like that. The '91 Warriors was probably like their best successful
That's
season.
conference finals, right? They had one conference finals run TMC, or at least Chris Mullin did.
I think Chris Mullin did. I don't know if Mitch Richmond did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check right now. Nah, with Mitch Richmond '91, they went to the second round.
Okay.
They lost to the Lakers in 5 games.
That wasn't even peak match. That's crazy.
Yeah, and with the Kings, he only went to the playoffs one time in '96, and they got bounced in round 1. It's tough, man, cause they was just he was good, consistently dropping 20, but the teams was never that nice except for the Run TMC.
Yeah.
And that one year was it 97 where he averaged like 26 a game? Yep. That was a good one. The All NBAs twice for second team and I think 3 times for third team. He has like his numbers is good. It's just the playoffs is I don't know. I think damn. I don't know. It's tough, very tough.
He's right there on the border.
He's
I'll say that much. He's on the border.
He's in and out. I think I would keep him in, but he's not he's like, let's wait till the class is underwhelming type shit.
So a couple of rounds of voting, he has to wait a couple of years. I mean, he did that in real life.
Yeah, I think.
He waited mad long. He waited like 12 years probably.
Yeah.
It's only fair. I think he's good enough, bro. Them years that, like I'm saying, like he was like the undisputed second best shooting guard. Undisputed. Unfucking disputed. Like there's no other shooting guard you would say that you taking over him besides Mike. And he was constant 20 points per game, 10 straight years, almost 11. I gotta keep him in. He was really good for a long ass fucking time, bro.
Wow, Latrell Sprewell made it over him.
In terms of what All NBA? Yeah, Latrell Sprewell was All NBA first team one year, which is crazy.
Yeah, that was 90.
That's nasty to me.
94.
He was not better than Mitch Richmond.
Damn, what the fuck did he do that year? 21 a game.
He was young as hell too. Guy Rogers is out. Couple of All-Stars, two assist championships. Bro, your job was give the ball to Will. I don't think it's that hard to win the assist championship.
He's out.
He's fucking out.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next class, Roger Brown is out. I don't even want to spend too much time on that.
Yeah, he's out.
I don't even want to comment.
His career was straight ABA, and even then, he was cool. He had one really good year. He was 4th in MVP, 23 a game, 7 rebounds. He had like a cool 5 years in the ABA. Mm-hmm. And ABA he was only all ABA first team once in 71. But yeah, and he's a 4-time All-Star. He's out.
Richie Guerin, Knicks legend, you're out. Sorry, he has the All-Star games. Okay, he has 6, I think it is.
Yeah,
you're out. I'm so sorry.
He's out.
So much. This is really fucking tough for me. Bernard King, 4 All-Stars, 4 All-NBA. He had a 2nd place finish in MVP voting. For me, Justin, he's out. Them years he was great. He got hurt. He came back. He was still pretty damn good. You weren't good enough for a long enough time, bro. Unfortunately. And he had a 30-point per game season.
Yeah, in 85.
But he's out for me.
Yeah.
The King of New York.
Yeah. Bernard King. Yeah, bro. It's very tough, but he's another one, bro. He was hurt. But when he played, he was a fucking dog, bro. He was probably the only guy in the Celtics dynasty with Larry Bird that really gave him problems in the Eastern Conference. Them and I guess the Pistons. You could say
the Pistons.
Yeah, but the Pistons was more towards the end, like when they was the wheels were starting to fall off for the Celtics. Bernard King was, I think he took him to 7 games in the ECF.
As an individual. Well, due
Dolo.
respect.
Dolo. Man, I love Bernard King, everything he did for the Knicks. Yeah, just not enough. The peak wasn't big enough, long enough, pause. 4-time All-Star. He does have some great seasons here.
Second
in MVP behind Larry Bird. Averaged 33 points a game in 85. All-NBA first team twice. Yeah, but it's not enough. If he had like maybe like 3-4 more years.
3 more years.
Yeah,
2 you might move me, but definitely 3 you're stamped.
Yeah, it's just the injuries was crazy, bro. He missed a lot of time.
A lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, it's all love. Knicks legend.
Yeah, he's a stamp legend.
For me, you'll be Hall of very, very, very. Your inner circle Hall of very good. You're right there knocking on the real Hall of Fame door, but it's just not enough. Yeah. Don Barksdale, Justin, I'm not commenting. You're out. Mel Daniels, 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-ABA, no All-NBA, 2-time MVP in the ABA. Justin, another one where it's ABA is kind of carrying your career. Is Mel Daniels a Hall of Famer to you?
Mel Daniels, damn, this motherfucker was only played 1 year in the NBA.
He's out.
Damn, 2-time MVP in the ABA, all ABA first team 4 times. But his shit wasn't He
was like a 20 and damn near 20 guy.
4 years. Damn. I'm thinking about keeping him in. I'm thinking about it.
You think so?
And he won 3 chips in the ABA.
It's not enough. That's not moving me.
Well, he was at least the guy for like one of them. I think I'll keep him in.
You keep him in?
Yeah.
That's fair. Like, it's kind of close, but for me, it's longevity.
Peak was short, but he was pretty good in that peak. Won 3 chips. One where he was undoubtedly the guy, 19 and 18 in the playoffs that year. And I'm talking about like, yeah, his ABA sample size is bigger than his NBA sample size, but in that ABA, 4 all ABA first teams, 2-time MVP, and you were walking double-double. He probably won't be like a first ballot. He probably gonna have to wait some time, but I'm gonna keep him in.
This one is the one that, by the way, Reggie Miller stays. I don't even talk about that.
He stays.
He's staying, but this is one of the ones where I wrote some of the most for, because I actually like Ralph Sampson. So he was a 4-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, right? He didn't peak long enough due to the injuries. He could have been all-time great alongside Hakeem. Made it to the finals in Hakeem's second year. And a crazy thing is, we don't really talk about this much, like NBA fans in general. They really beat the Showtime Lakers. Like, they still had Kareem. Kareem averaged 27 in that conference finals.
Yeah.
Magic had 22 and 16 assists. 22 and 16. James Worthy pulled up with 20 points. But Hakeem and Ralph Sampson were so fucking good, they took down Showtime. This wasn't that phony Showtime that MJ took out afterwards that didn't have Kareem, you feel me? This is like, yeah, Kareem's on the way out, but James Worthy and Magic are in their primes, and you just beat them.
Yeah.
In the road to the finals. I wish they won that championship too.
That would have been fucking crazy.
Hakeem would have been a 3-time champion. But besides that, bro, again, it just wasn't long enough, and that's solely because of injuries.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ralph Sampson is gonna have to get out, and yeah, it's like you said, it just has to do with the injuries. But the first 4 years of his career, well, the first 3 was like really good. 4th year was cool, but yeah, the injuries really hindered him, and he was a guy. He was like a OG, like. He was like one of the OG, like hyped up prospects, like coming into the league. Kareem was obviously one of them. Bill Walton was obviously one of them. But Ralph Sampson was like, he was like one of the OGs. Like, yo, we are tanking to get this guy, and Yeah, when he came into the draft, 7'4", long ass arms, pause. The Rockets were like, yeah, we're set. And then when they got Hakeem the year after, it's pretty bullshit. I know a lot of teams was very upset when that happened, and it's funny that the year after that they finally added the draft lottery, because that is fucking unfair. You end up with Ralph Sampson and Hakeem back to back years.
That's disgusting.
That's not even fucking
Because of
fair.
a coin flip.
Yeah, because of a fucking coin flip. But yeah, Ralph Sampson. If it wasn't for the injuries, we're probably talking about him as like. We're probably talking about the Rockets with him and Hakeem as like
That's a dynasty.
that could be a potential dynasty, and that's a big what if. Like we talked about Tracy McGrady, that there's no what if because he had a big enough sample size in his career. Same thing with Grant Hill, low key. But Ralph Sampson was like a legit what if, because if he stayed healthy, him and Hakeem would have ran the West for probably for a decade.
And that's when the West was ass. Like the West didn't really become good to like the early 90s.
Yeah, Lakers started falling off.
Yeah, the Lakers were falling off. Kareem was basically done. He was 38
and
in the
then
series.
Magic got AIDS.
Yeah. Yeah, just the way you said it was kind of funny. But yeah. But yeah, Magic got, I guess we'll just say Magic got sick. It was really just them and the Trailblazers. Because the Suns didn't get Barkley yet. Run TMC, like they were cool, but they were nothing like that. The Jazz were still young. Karl Malone and John Stockton were still young. Mark Eaton was still around there. It's like the teams were coming together. They were young, but that late 80s, early 90s, I'm pretty sure they would have come out the West every fucking year until Barkley got to the Suns.
And even then, that would have been...
It would have been a battle.
That would have been a battle.
It would have been a battle. And it's like, because the Jazz wasn't really giving problems till the mid-90s. There was always a second round exit, you feel me?
Yeah.
Supersonics with GP, that's definitely way fucking later. That would have been like Ralph Sampson's like 10th year that they're really coming together. Like you had the time with these guys. Because who else was the other competition? The Jazz, I mean not the Jazz, sorry, the Mavs. No.
What year?
That's what I'm saying. The Mavs weren't even competition anymore.
The Mavs
they made the conference finals like 82, 83.
Yeah,
so
early 80s. The Mavs was cool early 80s.
That was Mark Aguirre.
Mark Aguirre,
but they're out the convo. He's off the team.
Yeah, he was on the Pistons.
And that's
by
what
the
I'm
late 80s.
I'm just going through the teams. Like the Nuggets fell off by them. Like Alex English wasn't like that anymore. Dan Issel wasn't like that anymore. They fell off by then. So it's really like you're looking around, you're thinking about the conversation, the conversation at the time of who's a contender. It really would have just been them.
Yeah.
It's just them.
Their only comp probably would have been the Jazz.
It would have been the Jazz, who were still fucking young. No, sorry. It really would have just been the Blazers. It would have just been the Blazers. And the Jazz were a little bit later. But in that immediate moment...
Oh, yeah.
In that immediate moment of late 80s, early 90s, it would have just been the Blazers. Then Chuck, assuming the Chuck shit still goes. I don't think that Ralph Sampson staying healthy would affect that trade. Chuck still goes to the Suns, so the Suns become good. And towards the tail end of like Hakeem and Ralph Sampson's careers, like their late primes, end of the career, it would be like you would add the Jazz and the Supersonics. And that's it. And they would have missed out on Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time to win.
Yeah. Immediately it would have been the Blazers. And even then, I like their chances.
I'd take them over the Blazers. Yeah. Hakeem and Ralph Sampson, and you just get a decent point guard, a coherent point guard, nothing crazy. A guy who could get like 10 and 7, 10 and 8. You're
all
set.
that changes. The only thing that really changes now is like what they do with the pieces around. Because now, obviously, you probably won't end up with Robert Horry again. Because I believe Robert Horry was like the 5th pick in the... What draft was that? Was it 93, I think?
I couldn't tell you.
I think it was the 93 draft. He was the 5th pick. You probably don't end up with that if Ralph Sampson's still there.
Even like the smaller pieces, like, do you get a Mario Elie? Do you get a...
Vernon Maxwell?
Yeah, do you get a Mad Max? Like, do you get some of these pieces that won you in the 90s? I don't know.
I don't remember.
But you could just replace them. You don't get a Kenny Smith.
Yeah, I think Sam Cassell they draft. But Sam Cassell, I don't remember if he was like a lottery pick or if he was like a late pick.
I think it was a late pick.
He might have been a late pick.
The Rockets were still making the playoffs and shit like that.
Yeah, he might have been a late pick. Bless you.
Thank you. That's a fire what if though. And underrated what if. Because I feel like all we talk about is what if T-Mac didn't get hurt? What if Grant Hill didn't get hurt? What if Brandon Roy? What if D Rose didn't get hurt? I feel like
nobody talks about that.
Ralph Sampson made the finals in his 3rd year and Hakeem's 2nd year. and they would have ran the fucking West for a good 6-7 years.
Yeah.
With little to no comp.
Yeah, because from 80, let's say 85, the 84-85 season till maybe like 90.
Let's say 94.
To 94?
Yeah. And Hakeem is still in his prime in 94. He won his ring in 94.
Yeah, you still have a good, that's a good 9-year run.
You could even stretch it, bro. Realistically, it's like a 96 or a 97 because that's when Hakeem kind of starts slowing down a little bit. Assuming that Ralph Sampson stays as good for as long as of a time as Hakeem, but being safe, by the way, like you're saying, like the floor is 94.
Yeah. I'll say from 85 to 94, maybe 95.
And then even then pushing it, putting a harder boundary, you could push it back maybe to 96, maybe to 97. And remember, I'm just saying, bro, Mike said himself, the one player that they had no answer for in the West was Hakeem. Never saw Hakeem. Imagine all them finals in the early 90s. You seeing Hakeem and Ralph Sampson.
Yo, man, this is a fire what if,
and you're throwing out Bill Wennington.
Yeah.
Will Purdue.
They'd have to think of a new strategy because, damn, bro, having Ralph Sampson and Hakeem waiting for you down low.
Mike is not scoring that easy in there, bro.
That's going to be tough. Respect. You got two motherfuckers that's averaging, between the two of them, 7 blocks a game.
Mm-hmm. Undoubtedly would have been giving out problems. And
they would have been controlling the glass.
And God forbid.
And this is before Dennis Rodman.
I was about to say, God forbid, you still see him with Dennis Rodman and during this, what would have been the second three-peat. Am I confident you still beating them?
Because Rodman didn't get there till 95, 96.
That's what I'm saying. The second three-peat. I don't know, bro. Me personally, I think Mike ends up with less rings if he has to deal with Ralph Sampson and Hakeem in the finals.
I think so too.
Because you already feared Hakeem. You're getting a healthy Ralph Sampson and another. Let's be conservative. 21-11 with 2.5 blocks. That's the minimum we're gonna get from him. Yeah, I would be fucking afraid.
And then 27 from Hakeem.
And then it's 27 from Hakeem. Oh my god, bro.
That would have been.
Who do you throw at them?
That's a fire. What if nobody talks about that?
I never appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bro. That's why I'm glad he makes the real Hall of Fame, but in one that has actual criteria to get in, he doesn't get in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Chet Walker, consistent dude. He was really consistent his whole fucking career. He was always a 17+ point per game guy. I'm keeping him in 7 All-Stars, a ring. He was just consistently good. And just for that, he would get in after years of waiting around, to be honest with you. Which he also did in real life, by the way. R.I.P. too, because I was recently.
Yeah, he just passed away recently. Yeah, Chet Walker, I'm gonna keep him in. Consistent dude. Won a ring, was the guy in that. Well, probably one of the guys. 23 a game in that finals. He was a 7-time All-Star.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep him in. He's not gonna get in first ballot. He's gonna have to wait some time, but he was consistent throughout his career. Won a championship, 23 point per game guy in that championship finals. I think he makes it.
Jamal Wilkes, the notes I put for him did not peak high enough. He has 3 All-Star games, no All-NBA. He has championships, just did not peak high enough for me.
Jamal Wilkes, 3 All-Stars, and he won Rookie of the Year in 75. I don't know what the competition was at that time.
For the Rookie of the Year?
No, for the All-Stars to say why wasn't he making it?
Yeah.
And he has some good years, just not enough. He does have rings, but Showtime.
Probably.
Well, the Warriors ring was.
And he did contribute to Showtime, bro.
He did
20 points per game.
People forget 1980 finals when Kareem was out and Magic had to play center, and Magic had one of the best games ever. People forget in that game Jamal Wilkes had 38 points. Mm-hmm. Nobody talks about that. So he wasn't like a bus rider on these teams. He was actually contributing. I just don't think he makes it just because just 3-time All-Star. He has some solid years, just not enough to carry you over into it. And the rings, the Showtime rings, he was still hooping. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was hooping. He was 20 point per game guy. Some of them 22 points.
Yeah, but just those years where those years pre-Magic was, I'm not gonna say it was rough, but it was like, damn, it's like Kareem was undoubtedly the guy, and then Magic came in, and then it took another level.
Fucking Utah Jazz, bro.
Yeah, fucking retarded. Oh, excuse me, fucking restarted. Broussarded.
Broussard, yeah, Broussarded.
Yeah, just not enough for me to just get that nod. He's probably gonna have to get off for me, but for me, he's always gonna be remembered in the early Showtime years.
Shout out Jamal Wilkes, man. Chris Mullin. Tough decision for me. I took him out. 5-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA. Dream team member. And I'm not saying that because of, oh my God, they won the gold medal. Even though there was no comp back then in the Olympics like there is now. I say that because no one questions him being on the dream team because he was a dog after the 91-92 season. All-NBA first team that year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the best season. 25.6. 0.1 points worse than the year
6
before.
6 for MVP.
Yep, 6 in MVP voting. Lockdown, obviously. He was a great defender, just didn't show up in the DPOY runnings or defensive teams. But he was great, bro. His peak was great. But after his age 29 season, you just kind of fell off a fucking cliff. You become a pacer. That's not memorable at all. You didn't really put up numbers over there either alongside Reggie Miller. He just wasn't good enough for long enough. And I like Chris Mullin. But his career is not moving me as it sits right now.
Yeah, I like Chris Mullin.
Me too.
Shout out to St. John's.
Shout out New York.
Shout out New York. He's not gonna make it for me either, just because his peak was really like 6 years, honestly. And he was really fucking good in those 6 years. Really fucking good. But just not enough. And yeah, I know he got hurt in 93. Only played 46 games that year. And then after that, he wasn't the same. It just wasn't enough. I know that 92 year was fucking great. Fucking incredible that year. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. 2 All-NBA second teams, 1 All-NBA first, 1 All-NBA third, 5-time All-Star, like you said, in that stretch. Yeah, it's unfortunate just because the injuries. If he had like another 3 years, I probably would have kept him in.
He's a lock.
Yeah, he's a lock.
With 3 years.
But just the peak was just too short.
Yeah, for your peak to fall off after 29 is questionable for me. And like you said, I really like Chris Mullin, but he's just not making it, bro.
Yeah.
Des Rodman, a weird one. 2 All-Stars, 2 All-NBAs, 5 rings, bunch of rebound championships, 2 DPOYs. I'm keeping him in, and again, this is going to bring up the Michael Cooper convo. At least he made 2 All-Stars, and the 2 All-NBAs is the cherry on top. But then, even then, without the All-NBAs, I would still keep him in as a special case. I don't think he's a special case because he has those All-NBAs and he has the All-Star berths, but we know who Dennis Rodman is. Contributed to one. I don't want to say the Bad Boys were a dynasty. They were so close to it. They could have had that 3-peat, but 1 all-time great team, and then you were a focal point on why there was a 3-peat for the Bulls.
Yeah.
That 3-peat doesn't happen without you, bro. I'll say that much. I'm keeping Dennis Rodman, one of the best defenders of all time.
Yeah, to me, I didn't even fucking question it. Dennis Rodman stays in for me. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player. He propelled this Bad Boys Pistons team to another level when they got him, and he was 2nd-round pick. I mean, he has one of the craziest stories ever. Like, motherfucker was a janitor at 21 years old, and he had a fucking growth spurt.
Crazy growth spurt.
He had a stupid crazy growth spurt. I think he said he was still like
20. He was like 5'8", bro.
Yeah, he was like 5'8", and then he grew to fucking 7, 8.
I wish that happened to me.
Yeah, I wish. And then he goes to the Pistons team, and he was one of their main parts. And damn, I was about to say some crazy shit, but I'm not gonna say that.
Diddy shit?
No, not Diddy shit, but it's like a little deep shit. Pause. But I don't think it's really. I don't really have to say it right now. But yeah.
I'm gonna ask you later.
Nah, but
he did fuck Carmen Electra. That's an accolade itself. And by the way, in Mark Cuban's like guest house.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mark Cuban said that he was.
Oh, like, this was when he was on the Mavs?
Yeah, he let him stay like in like the pool house or the guest house, and he was sneaking Carmen Electra in, and Mark Cuban was getting tight. Bro, he was just fucking bro all the time.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman was like, he was a different dude, bro. And in that Pistons team, with Bill Laimbeer, John Sally, Rick Mahorn, he was kind of like, and this was young Dennis Rodman too, before the colored hair. He was that guy. There's a lot of clips you should go back and watch on YouTube. Him, like, one of my favorite clips is when he's picking up Magic full court and you see Magic like, I need help, like, like that shit. Like, he had Rodman like picking him up full court, like on his ass, and you see Magic like he's panicking, like he's panicking, like, yo, nigga, like, come on. And then he goes to the Spurs. Obviously, not really much to talk about there. That's when he started like. But then with the Bulls, it was kind of like I don't know if I want to say like a last chance, because like with the Spurs, it kind of ended badly. Mm-hmm. But when he went to the Bulls, he had some big shoes to fill. He was coming in to replace Horace Grant, who was one of the pivotal parts for the first 3P for the Bulls. And he went to the Bulls and he probably exceeded that. He was having fucking seasons. He's averaging like 18 rebounds a game.
Yeah, close to 19.
Yeah, and he extended the Bulls dynasty for that second 3P. And he's a legend. He's an icon. I know people like to be like, oh, the stats wasn't there, counting stats, blah blah blah, points.
Low key, they are there. It's just not the points.
Yeah, just not the point. This motherfucker would have games where he would have 0 points, but he would have like 25 rebounds. And shout out to old school YouTube, but like his defense was crazy. Like, not only was he guarding like guards, but like he locked up Shaq in the fucking playoffs in '96. Like, I remember there was a YouTube channel called Nobody Touches Jordan. And they had like full breakdowns of like,
that's glazing.
Yeah, it was full breakdowns of like Dennis Rodman locking up Shaq in the '96 conference finals. So yeah, to me, Dennis Rodman is like undoubtedly, and he's a guy that you talk about in the conversation with best defensive players of all time. Fuck best rebounder, like
he's both. He's in both.
Yeah, he's both, but like he's in the conversation like best defensive player of all time. He's in for me.
So bonus, you're out. Not gonna comment too much. Great international players. I know there's a lot of great stories told about you. You're out in terms of basically the NBA Hall of Fame or the Pro American Basketball Hall of Fame. Sorry, but you're out. I don't know if you have anything else to comment on him, Justin.
Nah, one of the pioneers would have been dope to see him come into the NBA a little bit earlier, but just not in the Hall of Fame for me, for the NBA specifically. Came into the NBA at 35. Most of his cases coming from overseas, but yeah, just not enough for me.
Tom Sanders, I'm not even gonna give it the chance to comment on him. Just Bill Russell bus rider, not even an all-star game. You're out. Down to 2010, we're obviously gonna keep Mr. Nasty, Karl Malone, and Scottie Pippen.
Yeah,
but do the Johnsons stay? Pause. Dennis Johnson, is he in for you?
I think Dennis Johnson does stay for me.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that you said that.
5-time All-Star. He was all defensive first team 5 times. And we're talking about a guy who was the point guard for the Celtics team in the 80s, who that was like the team outside of the Lakers. He was one of the captains for that team. And he was out there guarding like these big time motherfuckers. He had to guard Michael Jordan in the playoffs. He had to guard Isaiah Thomas in the playoffs. When it came to the finals, he had to guard Magic Johnson. And then you're talking about before he got to the Celtics, was a champion with the Supersonics, and he was a Finals MVP, averaging 23 points per game in that Finals. I know his numbers probably aren't the loudest, but for what he's been able to accomplish and for where he hangs his hat on, which is his defense, I think he has the case to still make it. Probably not like right away first ballot. He probably gonna have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think he's done enough where we talked about with Mo Cheeks and Michael Cooper. I think he's kind of a step above both of those guys, where he's accomplished more
I was
than
gonna
them
say the same thing.
as an individual and as a role player. I think he's just done more than those guys. So I'm gonna keep him in. He just won't be a first ballot for me.
Yeah, I'm keeping him in too. You said the same thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Which was simply just he's above Mo Cheeks and Michael Cooper. He has he has almost as many like all defensive selections, if not more, than Michael Cooper. And with the more all-stars in him as well. The all-stars, he's close with Mo Cheeks. The all-NBAs isn't close to Mo Cheeks, but he has a couple of those as well. Finals MVP pushes him over the edge as well. He's staying for me. Gus Johnson is out.
Yeah, he's out.
5 all-star, 4 all-NBA.
And he was
Not impressing me.
He was cool.
Yeah, he was aight.
He was cool.
The bar was just really low for him to make.
And then the one year he
All-NBA.
averaged 20, he didn't even make the All-Star or All-NBA.
Bro, he made all-NBA second team averaging 18.
He made it averaging 16.
Pardon. 18 and 17. I'll respect the rebounds too.
Oh, yeah, the rebounds, yeah.
Let me respect the rebounds. But besides that, he's out. 2009, one of the best draft classes of all time. Everyone could stay. Jordan, David Robinson, John Stockton. Don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, everybody stays.
Was Adrian Dantley a conversation in 08?
Adrian Dantley, motherfucker could score the fuck out of the rock.
And do nothing else.
But, yeah, I mean, the scoring was real good. The one turnoff, though, is the lack of All-NBAs.
Competition.
Yeah, competition was
Bernard
rough.
King, Larry Bird, Dr. J for some of this.
I'm looking at the 1 year.
James Worthy, Mark
One
McGuire.
year he made it. Dennis Johnson made it over him.
Yeah, this is crazy. He had 2 30-point per game seasons. He didn't make it.
Iceman made it over him.
It's just comp. For you to have 2 seasons averaging 30 and you don't make All-NBA, that's how you know something's wrong.
Yeah, and he was averaging 30.
30 for 4 straight years. That's why I'm keeping him in.
Yeah. Damn, he didn't win a ring?
No. They kicked him off.
Oh, yeah, they took him off the Pistons team.
Because of that reason, they won immediately without him.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him in. To be scoring 30 that consistently at that time in the league, it's fucking insane. And he did it for a pretty long enough time. You're talking about from 81 to 84, he's averaging 30.
You could even put in 79, 80.
He's averaging 28.
And then also put in all the way to... You could go from
86.
78, 79 to 85, 86.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal
Yeah, because he still
stretch.
technically averaged 30 and 86.
Close.
If you round 29.8. Yeah.
A 28 point per game thing.
Yeah.
A 26.6. Like, 26.6 being a down year is insane.
Yeah. And I'll keep him in. And yeah, the little years in between, well, right before he started averaging 30, where he averaged like 19 and 17, he didn't average that because he's playing with fucking Kareem. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep him in.
He played for mad teams. Lakers, Jazz, Pistons, Mavs. I think I'm still missing somebody, but he was really like
I mostly
that.
know him for the Jazz.
Me too.
And the Pistons.
Patrick Ewing, Hakeem, we're not talking about them. We know they're in.
Yeah, they're in.
07, there was no players inducted.
Wow.
Nobody at all. 06, Charles Barkley and Dominique are locks to me.
Yeah.
The question is, Joe Dumars the only question mark here. 6 All-Stars, 2 championships, 3 All-NBA, 5 All-Defensives. Here's why he stays, because he was borderline for me. Finals MVP over Zeke. That is saying a lot, bro.
That was that the 90 finals?
80
or
89.
Okay, that's when they beat the Lakers. Didn't they sweep the Lakers?
Yeah. They fried him.
Yeah, he stays for me too because he's another one like in the Dennis Johnson thing.
I think he's better than Dennis Johnson.
No, yeah. But he's another one kind of in that in that conversation what we had with Mo Cheeks and Michael Cooper. He's done more than those guys, even though the stats aren't like overwhelming. He still has really good stats to me.
3 top 5 DPOY finishes, by the way.
Yeah, and All NBA third team twice, All NBA second team once, All Defensive first team. What was it? I think 3 times. Yeah, and he was undoubtedly the number 2 guy on this team, and
100%.
yeah, and he won the Finals MVP in 1989, where he had to guard Magic in the finals, and
as an undersized too, by the way.
he was 6'4", guarding Magic, and they swept them. And then he's also out there giving you like 19 a game as well. So he's a definition of a two-way player. To me, he stays. Yeah, he was a big part of that, of those bad boys teams. They went back to back. He probably would have been in the conversation for the 90s Finals MVP too.
He's right there.
He's right there. Yeah, he's in for me.
And then 05, no players. Another year with no fucking players. That's fucking annoying. Here we have Clyde Drexler, lock.
Yeah.
Maurice Stokes. Is there anything you want to say about him? 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA. He had a 3-year career.
Out. Damn, that nigga played 1 playoff game.
What happened to him?
Rookie of the year. All-NBA second.
Illness, post-traumatic encephalopathy, whatever.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
He was sick.
He was cool.
He has to be out though, because it's 3
he's
years,
out.
bro.
3 years.
That's 3 fucking years,
Damn,
dude.
that motherfucker averaged 17 rebounds as a 6'7" forward.
He was like that.
Damn.
For them 3 years. Too bad it was only 3 years.
It's unfortunate. Maybe if he played like 9 like that, he would have got in.
Is Robert Parrish a question mark for you?
Robert Parrish.
Accolades wise, he was until I looked through his whole career, because he has the 9 All-Stars, but only the 2 All-NBAs, and obviously 4 rings.
I don't think he's a question mark.
I have to be honest with you. He was for me. He really was for me. But then I really looked through it, and some of the years that he wasn't All-NBA, like, bro, 19 and 11
he
with
was
2 blocks. Like, that was like every year.
He was hooping.
Top 4 MVP finish. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, 82.
He was like that, bro.
Yeah,
he's staying in.
I kept him in, bro. He's like you really like. He was such a big part for that Celtics team. You had to keep him in.
What about his peer, James Worthy? 7 All-Stars, 3 championships, 2 All-NBA. Finals MVP.
James motherfucking Worthy. Big game James.
Keeping him?
Yeah, I'm keeping him. We're talking about a guy that's like, he kind of gets forgotten about sometimes, especially in the Showtime era. He was... Good thing they added the draft lottery, because the shit that these teams were getting away with was insane.
How do you get Magic and James Worthy?
You get
with
Magic.
A team with Kareem on it.
You get Magic, and then 3 years later, you get James Worthy, which is insane.
And then the Rockets one, we all saw what that was.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's probably more bullshit.
The Rockets?
Yeah. That's way more bullshit. That's like getting fucking Wemby and then getting like Joel Embiid back-to-back years. That's crazy.
That front court would be nasty.
James Worthy, to me, he stays, bro. He stays.
Are we gonna have a Magic Johnson debate?
No.
Lock. He's a fucking lock. Drazen Petrovic, I'm not gonna say much. You had 2 years averaging 20. Unfortunately, a sympathy induction due to the unfortunate tragedy of you dying early.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Drazen Petrovic. He's not in for me just because, unfortunately he passed away. Peak was too short. Shout out to him though. When I was going back, round 1 of the playoffs, 92, he dropped 40 on the Cavs in game 1.
Damn.
Sorry, Colin.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, he gave the Cavs 40 in game 1.
You talking like Colin care about Craig Elo.
Yeah.
He scored 40 on Craig Elo. What are we doing, Justin?
Yeah. 40 is 40 though.
Yeah, 40 is 40, especially in the playoffs. But nah, it's let's be real, it's a sympathy thing. Had he stayed alive, he would not have made it, unfortunately. Next, we got Moses Malone alone.
Lock.
Didn't even mean to rhyme like that. Moses Malone alone.
He's a lock.
Damn, Coach K got in?
Yeah.
He coached for like another 20 years. Why they let him in so early?
For coaches, they don't give a fuck.
That's crazy.
Coaches, you could still be active because I think Calipari got in 16.
But his is funny because he coached for like another 20 years, bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Imagine he just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, that would be fucking wild. He just becomes a trash recruiter, doesn't even win conferences and shit.
They're like, we gonna have to take that shit back, boy.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. We're kicking you out the ACC. But Moses Malone, we all know who he is. Let me not say that. A lot of people don't know who he is.
They don't.
Just saying, 3-time MVP, dog. Before Embiid averaged 30, he was the last center averaged 30. Just an absolute monster, bro. And he's made it to the finals a couple times. Made it as a Rocket, obviously won as a Sixer. Underappreciated. He's a top 15 player all time. And I don't feel like too many people give him that credit.
Yeah, he's a lock for me.
He's top 15. Next would be Bob McAdoo and Isaiah Thomas. To be honest with you, neither of them are conversation for me.
Yeah.
Unless you think Bob McAdoo.
No, Bob McAdoo is making that shit.
He's like that.
He's making that shit.
Here's an interesting one. Kevin McHale. 2-time 6th Man of the Year, 7 All-Stars, 1 All-NBA, 3 championships, 6 defensive.
What year we are right now?
We are all the way down to 99.
Oh, this is 99. Kevin McHale.
I might use one of my special cases on him.
Kevin McHale, damn. I think he still makes it.
He's a special case.
He still makes it. Yeah. All defense, second team, 83, 6th Man of the Year.
4th as an MVP voting.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice that.
Yeah, 4th. Who finished in front of him? MJ.
Bird.
Oh, Magic, MJ, and Bird that year.
He finished above Barkley, Dominique, Hakeem, Zeke, Moses Malone. Come on now.
Yeah, he still makes it.
I have to keep him in.
Yeah.
Like, low key, it is special case. Is going against many of my own critiques, but he's making it in.
Yeah, and there were some nights where he looked like the best guy.
Yeah. Bro, remember when he dropped, what was it? He dropped 50-something. And then Larry Bird was like, he should have went for 60. Like, he broke the Celtics record, and then Larry Bird went and broke it himself, like, a week later.
Yeah.
Lenny Wilkins, because I'm not even going to talk about Larry Bird. Lenny Wilkins, is he a Hall of Famer too, Justin? 9 All-Stars, no All-NBAs, no rings, assist champion.
Damn, no All-NBA?
No,
Who was the comp?
But he also had a second place MVP finish.
Yeah, I see that. Who won? Will.
The fact that he was above Elgin Baylor's and guys like that is insane to me. He's above Dave Bing, Oscar Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, all NBA exists, bro. And you couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's very telling.
Big O was finishing behind you, and I bet he made the All NBA over you.
His comp was really what? Jerry West and
Big O, Walt Frazier.
Yeah.
In terms of guards, that's really it.
And there was no All-NBA third team back then. It was just first and second.
I think Hal Greer was still around doing shit.
I don't know. He had like 3, 4, maybe 5 cool years.
Yeah.
Led the league in assists once in 1970. Yeah, lack of all NBAs. Doesn't really have a playoff run you can hang on to.
Nope. Good coach.
Yeah.
But we talking player.
The 9-time All-Star is cool. No all NBAs.
That's sus.
That's very sus.
To not get one.
Very sus.
You're telling me there's not one year that you were at least better than one of Walt Frazier, Jerry West, and Oscar Robertson? Not 1 year. And mind you, there's 4 guard spots.
I wonder if that's... You think it's possible to be like a...
Oh, Pistol Pete, low-key too, yeah.
You think it's possible to be like a 10-time All-NBA player and like a 3-time All-Star?
No. You know why? Because Al Jefferson was All-NBA and never got All-Star, but it was only 2 All-NBA finishes I think he had.
Yeah, it's probably impossible.
And like, I guess DeAndre Jordan, but then he ended up getting an All-Star after his all.
Yeah, because I was about to ask him, like, yo, would you rather be like an 8-time All-Star, no All-NBAs, or like a 6-time All-NBA with like 1 All-Star?
I was about to say, I think the most All-NBAs you could get without being an All-Star is probably like 3 or 4. And that's just because you're the third best.
And it
center.
probably got to be like spread out too.
And you know how hard it's got to be too? You would have to, let's say you would have to be in a conference where there was 2 centers better than you. that made the All-Star game, but one of them had to get hurt. That's the only way you make it.
Yeah.
And for that to happen 4 times would be fucking crazy.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take him out.
Next is kind of where I had one of my biggest conundrums, which was Alex English. You heard earlier in the show, I laughed at the prospect of DeMar DeRozan getting in with my type of criticism. But Alex English falls in the same boat. They're both 3-time All-NBA. Alex English has 8 All-Stars versus DeMar 6. DeMar still has some time to tie him. It's possible. Is it likely? No, but it's possible. He has a scoring championship. This is why I kept him in over DeMar, right? He has 2 top 10 MVP finishes and then a bunch of other times he got MVP votes. He won the scoring title, which DeMar never did. His best seasons, he has like 3 or 4 seasons that were better than DeMar's best seasons in terms of scoring. That's why I got to keep him in. And he was going to the conference finals on these Nugget teams, bro. I have to keep him in. I'm not kicking him out.
Yeah, Alex English really put a lot of motherfuckers onto the Nuggets.
Especially them jerseys too.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep him in. His peak was very loud.
Oh hell yeah.
Very loud peak. Led the league in scoring in 1983. Finished 6th in MVP. All NBA second team 3 times. Especially at this time where it was like the early 80s. That was like IT. Mark Aguirre. That was fucking a very tough time at that point. Clyde Drexler, I believe, was just coming in at that point.
Yep.
And then even in the mid 80s with Michael Jordan there, Dominique Wilkins, you're still giving teams 30 every year, every game. So I'm going to keep him in. One of the OG motherfuckers.
Better Nugget, him or Melo. Both made 1 conference finals, usually a first or second round exit. Actually, I don't think Melo got out the first round with the Nuggets except the conference final.
I'd probably...
Yeah, they accomplished the same amount.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, low-key.
They were there the same amount of time, too, I believe.
Yeah,
or maybe just by 1 year.
I
would probably take Alex English a little bit.
Yeah, slightly Alex English. Yeah.
They was putting up similar production, bro. It's eerily similar.
Yeah.
But I would take him as a Nugget over Melo. Next is the 96 class, George Gervin, lock.
Yeah.
The question marks here are Gail Goodrich, David Thompson, and George Yardley. I don't really want to talk about George Yardley because we're talking 50s ball. I don't really want to put too much stock inside. I don't think All NBA existed in the 50s. I'm just being honest.
No, I'm looking at Gail Goodrich right now.
Hold on. I don't know why you're laughing at him. Because he's a demon in 2K.
No,
at
he
the
is.
72 team.
No,
demon.
I'm laughing at this stupid shit right here.
What, the career itself?
No, 1972. Why do they even have that? It says he finished 21st for MVP. Why do you
He's
even
a
include...
top 25 player.
Why do you even include that?
Was he the lowest finish?
I'm about to see.
Nah, it went up to 25, I guess. That's why.
It's because there was mad people tied.
Fred Carter, Jerry Sloan, Cassie Russell. Damn. Bill Bradley, shout out to him, my fucking college gym. Gail Goodrich doesn't make it, though. Couple of 20-point per game seasons. Champion.
He really had like 4 like that years.
Yeah, the rest of it, he was really nothing
He was
crazy.
Cool. He was cool.
He was Jerry Sugar, though. David Thompson, he would make the All-NBA crackhead team. but like him, Spencer Haywood, who else?
Michael Ray Richardson.
Yeah, he would make it. That's already 3.
Len Bias.
No, come on, we're not doing that. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up, bro. That is so fucked up. We might have to cut that. That is so terrible. Like, he actually died. That's
I know,
different.
but like...
That's different. Hey, we could put Magic in there.
Crackhead?
You don't think Magic was doing coke in the 80s in LA?
Probably.
That's what I'm saying. He's making the all.
I mean, he... Nah, I think Magic was
He
like...
had to have been, bro.
He probably has
80s
done it.
LA?
He probably did. But he wasn't... Good. Fortunately for him, he didn't get hooked onto that shit.
Hey, congrats, Magic, if that was the case. Or unless he kept it low-key. But David Thompson, great, like, first couple of years of your career, you inspired Michael Jordan to become a basketball player. He fucking fell off quickly, though, and you didn't even have a 10-year career, bro.
Yeah.
Did he have 10 years?
No.
No, he had 9 years on the dot. Not good enough. I'm sorry, bro. George Yardley, by the way, I'm not talking 50s. Did you have anything else you want to say about David Thompson?
Nah, David Thompson, he really just had the 4 years. That last All-Star was kind of questionable, 16 a game. Yeah, it's peak is too short. Finished third in MVP in 78. Only Bill Walton and Iceman finished in front of him. The numbers look cool, like the first 4 years, but just not enough. If he gave us like another like 5 years, completely different conversation.
Shout out to him, though.
Yeah.
Great dunker, one of the best dunkers all time.
Yeah.
Fun highlight tape, fun in 2K. Not a Hall of Famer. Kareem's obviously a lock.
Lock.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Unanimous. Vern Mickelson, here's a funny thing. 50s player. Don't really want to comment too much on 50s players, but that dude, George Yardley, All-NBA did exist. He just wasn't making it. So automatically he's out. Vern Mickelson, I don't have any comments on him.
All-NBA second team 4 times. He was a 6-time All-Star. He did win 4 championships.
Good for him.
But yeah, his overall stats are just very, very cool. We might just have to make a Hall of Very Cool. There's Hall of Fame, Hall of Very Good, and then Hall of Cool. He qualifies as like a Hall of Very Cool guy.
I just realized too that when we went over Lenny Wilkins, that was him getting in as a coach. He got in as a player in the late 80s.
Oh, okay.
But either way, we covered him anyways. I just realized that.
Yeah, okay.
After that, we have Buddy Jeanette, who I've never heard of because this is 40s ball. We're not even going to talk about you. Going into 93, Dr. J is a lock.
Yeah, he's a lock.
Is Dan Issel a lock for you?
Oh, shit, I wasn't even looking at him. I'm looking at Walt Bellamy.
We could talk about Walt Bellamy first. 4-time All-Star, 1 Rookie of the Year. This is kind of why I want to skip over him too much. Like, he's not making it for me.
Yeah, he's not making it. I just wanted to look at, because he was the first name that popped up for me.
Whoa. I did not know this.
What?
He averaged 31 and 19 as a rookie.
As a rook.
And didn't even make All-NBA?
Nah, 1 Rookie of the Year.
Damn, bro. But I'm still kicking him out.
Yeah. His peak was really like...
the first 4 years.
First 4 years.
And he fell off.
And then he fell off a cliff.
I'm kicking him out.
Yeah. And then didn't have no playoff runs. Yeah. Didn't make the playoffs until his last good year.
Mm-hmm.
That was his first time making the playoffs.
Getting some help.
Yeah. And then they went to the second round, and that was pretty much it.
Dan Issel, I'm keeping in. 7-time All-Star. 5-time All-ABA. All-Rookie team. Rookie of the Year. NBA-wise, nothing crazy. He has 1 All-Star in the NBA.
Damn, finished 4th in MVP as a rookie.
And 2nd the next year.
Yeah, 2nd the next year.
His ABA numbers are carrying him, to be completely honest.
Artis Gilmore won it over him. Oh, this was ABA, yeah.
And in the NBA, he was still averaging 20. Just wasn't making the All-Star team or All-NBA.
Yeah, he made 1 All-Star as an NBA player.
The rest of his NBA career was 20 points per game, basically.
He was good. I'm going to keep him in just because his ABA shit was just like, you can't ignore it. First year, 30 a game. 4th in MVP, Rookie of the Year. All-ABA second team. Second year, 30 a game with 11 rebounds. Second in MVP, first team All-ABA. Third year, 27 a game with 11 rebounds. Like, it's really undeniable. And then on top of that, you have a very, very, I would say more than solid NBA career where you were still an All-Star once, but you were averaging anywhere between like 19 to 22 a game.
22, 23 points.
Yeah, so he stays.
He's fucking saying. Dick McGuire, Nick Legend, you're the reason that Melo couldn't wear 15 on the Knicks. I'm kicking him off. And it's also 40s and 50s ball. I'm not really going to comment too much.
Stats are very underwhelming.
Calvin Murphy.
Only made All-NBA once.
Exactly.
In 51. And he never averaged 10 or more. He never averaged double digits.
Calvin Murphy's out.
And he never averaged
All-Star.
yeah.
Here's a tough decision, emotionally. Rest in peace, of course, very recently. Bill Walton. as a professional,
Just
as
NBA.
solely a professional.
Yeah. He's out.
And I hate to say it, but
Yeah, it
strictly as a
sucks.
professional, you're out. You had the Sixth Man of the Year. I understand that you like reinvented yourself. You had the championships. You were the Finals MVP. You feel me? You did all this shit. You was a 2-time All-Star. You did everything in your career though in like 2-3 years. Unfortunately.
Yeah, his peak was really
Besides that,
his first like. Yeah, his peak was really like 4 years.
4 years, bro. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
one of the best what ifs too as well.
Yeah,
But all his
he's
peers talk highly of him.
not yeah. His real Hall of Fame has. I mean, the NBA shit. What he did was crazy. Winning a chip by his third season in the league. Then he won an MVP the year after that. First 4 years in the league, he's an MVP and a champion. And then on top of that, at UCLA, they won a chip every single year he was there. So, yeah, taking all that into account, he makes the Basketball Hall of Fame. But just this criteria, he doesn't make it. And it's really just the injuries for him. Because I think he had like what? He had 3 full seasons that he did not play because of injuries. Yeah. And then his last year in the league too. His foot. He was out and then he just retired.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough decision, but he's out, bro. I'm sorry to say it, but he's out. Next is Connie Hawkins, ABA MVP, couple All-Star games, 6 All-Star games. Besides that, 2 All-ABA. I'm still kicking him out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough for me.
Yeah.
It's underwhelming, unless you have more to say about him.
Not much.
Bob Lanier is staying for me, by the way.
Hold up. I'm getting a call.
So yeah, Justin, unless you have something to say about Bob Lanier, I'm ready to move on. I mean, 8-time All-Star, not really an All-NBA guy, but he was really fucking good in his
It's
own
actually
right.
Bob Lanier.
I'm sorry.
Not because I'm looking at the pronunciation.
Damn.
Yeah, he was good, very good. No playoff runs except for '84. Yeah, Sidney Moncrief carried.
Damn.
It's true.
It is true though.
But he had his numbers was pretty good. Not gonna lie, he was the number 1 pick in the draft. Only reason I know that is because shout out Sporkle. I'd be taking that quiz all the time.
Yo, Sporkle quizzes, I'd be cooking until like, so if it's finals and like finals MVP, I get fucked in the 70s. The 60s I'm fine. The 70s I'm cooked.
Yeah.
Obviously the 50s I'm cooked. But like after seeing Chet Walker's name in red all the time, Dolph Shay's name in red all the time, there's one other guy who I could never get. He was an early Piston. He was a Fort Wayne Piston.
Yeah.
But there's one other guy that those are 3 names that are like ingrained in my head, and it's funny I'm saying that because ironically I forget the dude's name. Yeah. But Bob Lanier is also a Sporkle legend.
Yeah, but no All NBAs. I mean, part of that for the first couple of years of his career is like the competition. You have Kareem and Wilt in front of you, but then what's the excuse for when Kareem retires? I mean, Wilt retires.
Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, Bill Walton.
Yeah,
short amount of time.
Very tough. Very tough.
I feel like I'm still missing some bigs potentially. Willis Reed. Willis Reed for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of big.
Was Artist Gilmore there?
He might have been ABA at the time. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, he really did have like a good like 6-year peak. Finished 4th in MVP, 77. Only people finished in front of him was Kareem, Bill Walton, and Pistol Pete Maravich.
So 2 bigs when it was a 2 all NBA thing.
So he was never a top 2 big in the league,
which is hard.
It was hard.
To be completely honest,
at
it was
that
just
time,
fucking hard.
Yeah, very hard at that time. He has a case, kind of. I mean, the lack of playoff success is very telling too. Especially, it's a lot different. Because I know we talked about football in the beginning and how the quarterback has all the responsibility. And basketball is not the same. You were a number 1 pick, so the expectations are a little bit different. If a number 1 pick had all these consecutive years of just first round out, we'd be like,
get the fuck out, bro.
Yeah,
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, so He, I'm gonna say out.
He's out for you.
Yeah, but
He's barely in for me.
yeah, he's like. Actually, nah. I'm gonna keep him in, but it's like
for those draft class, for the Hall of Fame classes where there's nobody else.
yeah,
It's like we gotta throw someone in there. We can't just throw in 3 college coaches.
it's very very close.
Next is, of course, Tiny Archibald. The one of the few, or is he still the only one? Did James Harden get it or no? Leading the league in points and assists in the same season. I think he just barely missed it, James Harden. Because I think that was a Westbrook MVP year.
Yeah,
he just barely
missed it.
So I think Nate Tiny Archibald is still the only one to do it. So he's got that to his name. 6 All-Stars, 5 All-NBA, the 1 scoring champ, the 1 assist champ, top 3 MVP finishes. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 10 NBA finishes. He is staying for me.
Yeah, he's
3-time All-NBA first team, bro.
Yeah.
He's staying.
Won a chip with the Celtics in '81, and he was also All-NBA second team that year. Yeah, he stays for me. The stats are like undeniable, and he's one of the OG legends. And then, yeah, he's staying for me.
Harry Gallatin is 40s and 50s ball. I'm not commenting on you. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you want to say something, Justin. I'm so sorry. I don't care. When your shit says 40 something in your basketball reference, I don't even want to comment on you.
He was All-NBA twice. First team in 54, second team in 55.
Congratulations to him.
Who did he make it with? I couldn't even tell.
Dolph Shays, probably.
What the fuck?
Dolph Shays.
Nah,
George Mikan.
This is going back too fucking far.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry. First team was Bob Cousy, Harry Gallatin, Larry Faust, and
Faustine? Isn't that the guy? He's from the Pistons, right?
It's just Faust.
Larry Faust. He's the one who's on the Pistons, right? Or am I bugging out?
He never played for the Pistons.
Fuck, who am I thinking about on the Pistons? Larry Faust is always stuck too because of Sporkle.
He played for the Chicago Stags.
Damn, who am I thinking of?
And who is it? FTW, Fort Wayne. He did play for the Pistons.
It was him.
It was Fort Wayne though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's Fort Wayne.
Yeah, okay.
I knew it was him, bro. He's the reason that he's stuck in my head, bro.
Yeah.
He's whatever though.
Yeah.
Your shit starts with 48. I'm not really gonna talk to you about much about that.
And he was only All-NBA twice when the competition wasn't that crazy.
Hey man.
Like when I looked up that All-NBA, I only recognized like one name.
Yeah, it's
John
Bob
Havlicek.
Cousy. Oh,
and
John
I mean
Havlicek.
Bob Cousy, my bad.
Yeah, Bob Cousy.
Because I think Havlicek was a little bit later.
Oh hell yeah! He was
Yeah.
like 10 years after that shit.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really just Bob Cousy that I recognized. Yeah, so that's very concerning.
All right, Justin, this is the last draft class we're commenting on. We're going by 34 years. 1990. Dave Bing is the first guy here. Conversation, by the way.
Dave Bing.
7 All-Stars, 3 All-NBA. Rookie of the Year, scoring champ. Scoring champ as a point guard, by the way, where you're supposed to pass the ball.
David Bing. He won scoring champ?
Yeah.
I don't see
67, 68 scoring champ.
Damn. How come that shit's not in bold?
Oh, you're right. That's just not in bold. I'll check why, but you talk about if he's in yours, because he made mine.
I think I'm gonna keep him in here just because he had a pretty solid peak, Rookie of the Year, 4th in MVP as a sophomore, first team All-NBA.
Always the first diamond card in 2K for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then 1971 he was 3rd in MVP, All-NBA first team again, and then yeah he was very solid, 68. He was on All-NBA first team with Jerry Lucas, Oscar, Elgin Baylor, and Will Chamberlain. So he's in elite company. 71. Damn, I'm trying to see who he made it with in 71. This shit. That's how you know my phone is bugging now.
All-NBA first team in 71. John Havlicek, Jerry West, Kareem, and Billy Cunningham.
Okay.
So he made it above Big O and Walt Frazier.
Yeah, so that just tells me that you was that type of guy. And even if he didn't lead the league in scoring, I'm pretty sure he was probably like in the top 3.
So it's kind of weird because in the accolades it says scoring champ. Big O averaged 29.8, it said, but Dave Bing had the more total points. And for whatever reason, Big O did play 65 games though, so I don't know why his shit's in bold, but it says Dave Bing is a scoring champ for whatever reason. Because scoring champ has never been about total points.
It's never been total points. It's just average.
But he's listed as the scoring champ.
You said 67, 68?
67, 68.
Is it because Dave Bing played 79 games that year?
But the thing is, it's not like Big O didn't play that many games. He played
65, right? So in today's rules, that still counts.
And the accolades for Big O, it doesn't say scoring champ anywhere.
That's weird. Yeah, because this shit's not even in bold.
Hey, they could share it.
Yeah, they could share it.
Why not?
Because he was probably second, right?
Yeah.
I saw.
He was second in points per game.
Yeah, to do that shit as a fucking guard, 6'3" guard. Because Big O was what, like 6'6"?
6'6".
Yeah, so
6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, that's impressive. I'm gonna keep him in.
Elvin Hayes is a lot. 12 All-Star,
6
6 All-NBA, scoring champ. Don't gotta say too much about him. And then the last two players, number one is Earl Johnston, who played 50s ball, if you want to comment on that.
You mean Neil Johnston?
Sorry, Neil Johnston. What did I say?
Earl Johnston.
Because Earl Monroe's the next name. But
Damn!
6 All-Stars, 3 scoring champs, 5 All-NBA. I'll keep him in.
I'm gonna keep him because his can't really ignore that shit.
What the 20, 23, and 15 basically?
Yeah. All NBA first team for 4 consecutive years. All-star in those years. Damn. And yeah, he was a fucking double machine. And then yeah. I'm guessing he got hurt.
Probably so.
Yeah,
because retired early. Because
he fell off a cliff. He went from 19 and a half and 11 to 6 and 5. So he must have got hurt.
Or maybe he just didn't love the game no more.
Nah, he definitely got hurt.
Probably did.
He was an all-star. 19 and a half, 11 rebounds a game, and then the very next season, 6 points and 5 rebounds a game. And he played 28 games. He definitely had like some career-ending shit.
Probably broke his fucking leg on the court.
Yeah, short peak. Oh, he won a chip in 56.
Wow.
Yeah, he won a chip. Yeah, he averaged 20 and 14 in that playoff run. I'm about to see how much he averaged.
What team is this?
He played, what year did I say?
56.
He played for the Philly Warriors.
Damn, that's a dinosaur ring.
Yeah, that's a dinosaur ass. Damn, that nigga had 50 in a game before. I'm about to see how much he averaged in that finals to really, because right now I'm keeping that motherfucker in.
That was bad funny. You said he had 50 in a fucking game.
Yeah. Damn, he beat. Damn.
To be fair, 50 in the 50s.
He kind of dropped. He kind of dropped off in the finals. Actually, this is kind of Mickey Mouse. I don't know if this is I don't, because I guess back then, since there was less teams, he only had the playoffs started. He won the first round, and then the next round was the finals.
That was a lot of Bill Russell's career, though.
Yeah. So
if that's Mickey Mouse and all of Bill Russell shit is Mickey Mouse, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that then. But he kind of dropped off in the finals because the round before, he averaged 27 and 18, and 6 assists. Dog. Monster.
He's a dog.
And then the finals, he averaged 13, 11, and 4. Still solid, but he dropped off. But I'm gonna keep him in.
I'll keep him in.
I'm gonna keep him in. Yeah.
It's 50 balls too, so I'll keep him in. And last guy in here, Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Earl the Pearl.
Knicks legend. I didn't even know one of his nicknames was Black Jesus. Everyone just calls him Earl the Pearl.
Oh, then that's serious if you have that nickname.
Yeah, because it was like, I only know MJ is that on some.
And he went to Syracuse, right?
The college?
Oh no, I'm thinking of
Nah, he went to
who am I? I'm thinking about somebody else.
Michael Ray Richardson.
Oh, I think I'm thinking about Pearl Washington.
Don't even know who the fuck that is.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Don't even know who the fuck that is. But Earl the Pearl, 4-time All-Star. He's a champ, Rookie of the Year, 1 All-NBA. Knicks legend.
Yeah, it is Pearl Washington.
He averaged 18.8 for his career. Peaked at 25.8. But to be completely honest with you, Justin, he's not making my Hall of Fame. He had some pretty good years, and then he had good years.
Rookie of the Year, All NBA first team as a sophomore.
His first 4 years were insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Peak wasn't long enough. Yeah. I mean, him just winning a chip with the Knicks alone should boost you up a lot. But
only the Knicks too.
Yeah. He averaged 16 in the finals. Yeah, just the peak wasn't long enough. That really all. Damn, and he was the. Oh shit, he played for the Bullets. I'm bugging.
Yeah, I know him as a Nick and a Bullet.
Yeah, peak wasn't long enough. Like you said, the first 4 years of his career was actually no first 4 years was really good.
Cooking.
Then he was cool, and then from 75 to 78, he was cool. He was an all-star one more year in 77, where he averaged 19.9 a game, and then he's a champion, obviously. Damn. Yeah, I think he just misses it.
I don't think he's just. I think he's out.
He's out completely. Because I saw he had a couple deep playoff runs where he was like 23 a game type shit. But the peak just wasn't long enough.
He's out.
Yeah.
He's out for me. Peak wasn't long enough, and even your peak wasn't even like insane. It was good.
Yeah.
It was not insane or nothing. Like, I get it, 25 points per game your second year is cool and all, but not crazy enough for me personally.
Yeah.
Justin, that was the last draft class we went through. That was 34 years of NBA history. I guess the lesson here is like we kicked out at least 20 people.
Yeah.
100%.
I stopped writing down who I kicked out.
We at least kicked out 20 people. I wish my shit I put numbers instead of bullet points, but at least 20 names, bro.
I think after Roger Brown, I stopped counting.
It's at least 20 least 20 people.
Yeah.
At least. And I think this is how the Hall of Fame should be. It's never going to be like this, unfortunately. It's always going to be easy to get in. We're going to see Kyle Lowry get in. We're going to see DeRozan get in. We're going to see Clay get in. We're going to see Kevin Love potentially get in. We're going to see Paul George get in. We're going to see Jimmy get in. Well, Jimmy would make it regardless in mine. PG would be close. But the point is, like, there's a lot of heads. Marc Gasol might get in one day. Eventually.
Yeah, he might.
I like Marc Gasol, but he has no place in the Hall of Fame for me. Personally. But it's like Marc Gasol could get in one day. It's just a lot of I would not be surprised if we see Bradley Beal make it to Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is. That's how fucking easy it is, bro. It just takes a couple All-Star games as we've seen with these people that we kicked out. Some of them are 3-4 time All-Stars, some of them 0 times. Like, it's so fucking easy to get in. And it's a shame.
And Rondo has a better case than Bradley Beal. He probably won't even make it.
I think Rondo will make it. Rondo will make it. He has a better chance than Bradley Beal, to be honest, and he's a better fucking player. 2 rings, one of them, you're a big fucking piece of it. An additional finals run too as well, so you're 2-1 in the finals. Many assist championships, many All-Stars. I don't want to say many, but like 4 or 5, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we got 4.
Couple All-NBAs. Like, he should get in before Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
But even then, like, if we were to give him the same criticism we gave all these guys, might be out. Yeah. Might be out, or I'll be like, all right, he gets in after like 8 years of voting. That's my only takeaway from this. Like, so many people shouldn't be in here. I understand the argument of, like, we should be honoring these people, these pillars, like, that the NBA is like this because of these guys. But at the same time, it's like, you should be great. You have to be great to be in the Hall of Fame. You have to be a legend, and the word legend just gets tossed around so loosely.
I think,
unfortunately, like, I'm not calling Calvin Murphy no fucking legend. You feel me? I can't do that. Just like in the same way, I don't want to call Bradley Beal a legend.
Yeah.
I don't want to call. You saw Lou Will saying that him and Jamal Crawford should get in because they're some of the best 6-mans of the years of all time. I'm not putting you guys in. You guys aren't legends. Unfortunately, you guys are really good basketball players. You're not legends.
Yeah.
As individuals, you weren't as insane of a talent as you think you were. That's just the brutal. That's the brutal and honest truth. Is Iguodala a Hall of Famer? Not in my books. He's gonna get in. 1 Finals MVP, 1 All-NBA, right? And 2 All-Stars, 1 or 2 All-Stars.
I think he's a 1-time All-Star.
Like, that's it. That's a Hall of Famer, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the best case for Rondo is like all his shit is really NBA. His college shit wasn't like super overwhelming that it backs him to get into the Hall of Fame. Like, all his shit was really just Hall of Fame. Yep. I mean, the NBA.
But hey, he won.
Yeah, he won twice.
And the first one, he was a big fucking piece. What could have been his second one, in 2010, he was the best player on the fucking team in that playoff run.
Shit, 2020, he was probably the 3rd best guy.
Yeah, and then in 2020, he was like the 3rd best fucking player.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's just the assist championships, some All-Stars, some All-NBAs.
Steals champ.
Yeah, steals champ, defensive. playoff triple doubles, I guess, because he was a triple double guy before Russ came
Before
up, and
Russ.
even before Lance Stevenson came up, he would be on triple double watch.
Yeah.
And it's not even like he had 15 in a year. Like he would get like 7 or 8, and that was exciting. You feel me? But that's the whole lesson from this whole episode. The Hall of Fame is just way too fucking easy to get into.
Yeah.
Justin, any more comments before we get out of here? Baseball, unfortunately, on hold. I know we're trying to do the baseball talks more on the show. Some trades have been going on. I'll talk about it next week that we do an episode, because that's going to be when the trade deadline is finished, and we could talk about all the trades at that point in time.
Yeah, Yankees suck.
I'm wearing the shorts. I'm wearing the Yankee shorts. Hopefully they win today. They blew a 7-5 lead last night, and they got cooked by the fucking Mets twice. So there's that. Walk us out of here, Justin. You just had to make me get depressed, huh?
Yeah. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please please subscribe. If you guys are listening on audio, please give us 5 stars. Follow us on TikTok at the J&J Podcast. Shout out to you guys. We finally hit 1K followers on TikTok, so we could finally go live.
Yeah.
I know motherfuckers been waiting for that.
I was gonna ask you want to go live first, or?
I'd have to find the time. I've been playing college football like a maniac.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Let's talk college football real quick, by the way. I am, right now, I put the game on rest mode. I'm winning 10-7 versus Kansas State. I won my first college playoff game as a junior on Oklahoma. Now I'm playing, who did I play, by the way? Did I play Vanderbilt? I played somebody. No crazy comp. And now I'm playing Kansas State. We up 10-7. I'm trying to get to the fucking finals, bro. I'm in the final 8, basically.
With my running back, I led South Carolina to the national championship.
Shout out to the Gamecocks.
We didn't win, though. We got fucking smoked by LSU.
Yeah, LSU cooked me in the SEC
We got
championship.
smoked. And then with my QB, we're 7-0. I started the game, and it's at Ohio State. Bro, we're down 31-3.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I never want to play Penn State away. Florida was hard, by the way. Florida was hard as fuck. But Penn State was insane. They were 10-0.
And then, I've been going crazy with Dynasty right now.
I have to try it.
I just made Bergen Community College. I just signed 5 recruits. They're all like 2 stars and under.
Shout out to him.
But my freshman QB, Tyree Irving, that's deadass his name. I think he's 5th for Heisman right now, 2 games into the year. You know what's crazy? What you could do? You can encourage players to transfer.
Really, you could be like, nigga, you're so ass. You need to leave.
I did that for my freshman QB just so he could get more time. There was 2 QBs over him because they were upperclassmen, and I was like, yo, I'd advise you to get the fuck out of here.
And they leave for real?
Yeah, they'll leave. And then there's like a menu where it's like, these guys are gonna transfer, like potentially. You have the option to like persuade them to come back.
It's just too much shit in that, and I think that's really good for like passionate college football fans. But like for a beginner like myself, like when I open that shit, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
And my brother's like, I'll teach you how to do. I was like, bro, I don't even know if I'm ever gonna get used to learning all this shit.
It's a lot.
Like I'll probably have to watch like 2 YouTube videos that are long as hell about that shit.
You got to do team builder though. That shit. Yo, I really spent like an hour, like hour 15, just like customizing the jerseys, the stadiums.
Community, bro.
Bergen Community.
Shout out Bergen Community College.
Yeah.
I heard they tacos is fire. I never got to go.
Yeah, I never had them.
You said they was busting.
That's what I kept hearing, but I never had them.
All right, guys. We're going to see you guys next time. Hopefully, I'm a national football champion by that point in time.
Yeah.
Go Oklahoma for this one time. But I'm really a Gamecocks fan. Shout out to them.
Peace.
Peace.